Philly,
Philadelphia,
Philly, Philly,
home of brotherly love. We see you,
Philly.
Come on. Yeah. ISI represent for Philly. A strong shout out, brotherly love to my brothers from Philly. Greetings, it's your brothers from New York City, home of the cream of the team of the baseball Phillies. We got Howard.
This is the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 15 and verse 6. For wickedness have exceedingly polluted the whole earth, and their hurtful works are fulfilled. Therefore, saith the Lord, I will hold my tongue no more, as for touching their wickedness, which they profanely commit, neither will I suffer them in those things in which they wickedly exercise themselves. Behold, the innocent and righteous blood crieth out unto me, and the souls of the just complain continually. And therefore, saith the Lord, I will surely avenge them, and receive unto me all the innocent blood from among them. Behold, my people is led as a flock to the slaughter. I will not suffer them, nor to dwell in the land of Egypt, but I will bring them with a mighty hand and a stretched out arm, and smite Egypt with plagues as before, and will destroy all the land thereof when it's reaping time.
I get on extra grind. I get on extra grind. I get on extra grind. When it's repping time. 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 I get on extra grind. I get on extra grind. I get on extra grind. When it's repping time. When it's repping time.
All praise the Most High God, Yahweh.
When it's repping time. When it's repping time. When it's repping time. When it's repping time. When it's repping time, 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 when it's repping time.
My higher now, he's giving me the extra power, extra hour, cooking on the heathens up an extra flower. Righteous in your faith, yes, I'm a man of faith. Spirit hanging on while the body's up against the faith. The Howard with the Howard shot is a God of faith. Pastors are hallucinating, looking like it's with the eight. We on the Howards and the Bowards with the man for real. Rifle skills, touching up the mind like it's massive kill. It's like the Howard shot, shooting weak and half for real. Jacob chasing Esau out the wound to be dropped his heel. I got the seal, it's so real with my seven bill. Red potted from the scriptures, Esau was a favorite meal. You know the deal, you see the Howard shot, it's time to kneel. Shooting wicked bodyguards, showing what we got concealed. You got a shot like an ill when you see us grill. Replicate this by your damn throat, then we watch it squeal.
When it's repping time, 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 when it's repping time.
Yo, when the Howard shot was here, no, he came to heal, coming back. Now I need to paint like it's Shaq O'Neal. No matter where we all watch, we gon' speak his will, keep it real, strap the devil head up against the steel. The Walking Dead, I'm like nigga when he got the seal. Blood from the brains, burnt my eyes like an orange pill. Lord Willer for the Howard, we get name and seal. Judge, jury, executioners, as you can't appeal. We know your wicked senior style, know your whole deal. React, respond, we get broken down, overkill. Screaming high notes before you die, so for real. You had Samson on a slave with the grinding wheel. Face popping out his arm like he popped a pill. Say it to the Howard, and it's mine, but he like.
Shalom, shalom, shalom.
Shalom, shalom. Kwame Ashrala. Yahbashim Yishai Barakatam.
Kwame Ashala. Yahweh Shem Shabbat. Shalom, family. All praise Yahweh Shem Yahushua. Welcome to another Tuesday Iron Sharpeneth Iron class. We are back again. This is Brother Ahrayah. And who's the reader for tonight, King?
Brother Yawasop, East Coast. All praise to the Most High.
Khan. All praise Yahweh Shem Yahushua. So today we're gonna do things a little different. For those that's in New York, there was an event that happened that was mighty. You know what I'm saying? And it was unbelievable to see, especially in our lifetimes, right? Speaking for me as a New Yorker, with the Knicks fans and everything, all of that stuff. And we understand, we as Israelites, we have a balance of physically and spiritually, right? Like how the Lord said, you're in the world, but be not of the world. You live in the world, but be not of the world. But also, what people got to understand, like, the Lord had Solomon tell him in Proverbs chapter 6, look at the ants, right? Proverbs chapter 6 and verse 6, and watch how they move, watch how they work. They're not slothful, right? They gather their resources in due time, and then they rest when it's time for like the winter and all of that stuff. But they know the seasons and they know how to do things at its perfect time, right? The Lord used certain examples, like look at the animals, look at the creatures, look at certain people within their occupation, how they do certain things. And you can learn wisdom throughout so many different aspects and different examples, right, Khan? So,
Khan.
I would say, because, I was a big basketball fan and all of that stuff. When I came into the truth, I had to push all that to the back burner and focus on the work of the Lord and everything, because I couldn't handle both. I couldn't handle both, man.
God.
You know what I'm saying? And it's a balance. You gotta let go of one and you gotta go all out for the other. You know what I'm saying? And as being a fan, just a quick testimony, I used to gear my whole entire schedule in life around the Knicks. Like, Lord bless me with a job, whatever, this and that. And I would schedule around the time of the Knicks and watch the preseason, the training camps and all of this stuff, knew all the players, their stats, and I was a fan and all of that, right? But the blessing is the Lord took the zeal that I had for a sports team and transferred it into the truth for the Lord as an Israelite. Khan? Right? So I'm like, damn. I'm like, it's crazy. But, just a quick testimony, like endurance and faith, and teamwork. And if you could have a high zeal and be, like just hyped for what's going on, that don't really count at the end of the day. Because being a Knicks fan or, getting an NBA championship and all of that stuff, that still don't complete with the kingdom of heaven at all. Right? Because we still living in this world and everything is temporary. We're just here for a moment, but we pass as soon as the Lord decide to take us back and call us back to him and everything. But you got to understand, what you do in this life will echo in eternity. Right? That was a quote from one of the movies. I think it was The Gladiator. Whatever you do in this life will echo in eternity. So, all praise Yahweh Shem Yahushai. We're going to present y'all with this lesson. Hopefully you're edified. And, let's learn from this. Like the brother hooked it up with the flyer. Never give up on your dreams. And remember, Israel, our dreams and our goal is to get into the kingdom of heaven. But I just want to show y'all through this lesson examples of spiritual matters that manifested throughout this series, throughout the NBA basketball, Knicks run, championship run and all of that. And y'all, what's up? Anything you want to say before we start?
I know you're gonna bring it out mighty and strong in the spirit and showcase how certain things that's happening in the natural and the physical world that we actually can see and we could touch and we could be a part of is stuff happening in the spiritual realm as well, to showcase the Most High's power on earth. So sometimes a lot of people, when we do come into the truth, we have to put aside a lot of things, because I did the same, like you just said. I used to wake up and first thing I'm watching is Sports Center, or you know what I'm saying, all day long I'm checking the stats, I'm doing all this different type of stuff. And the Most High, to change my mind and to make me a new creature, the Most High did change my focus. So instead of focusing on Stephen A. Smith and who Skip Bayless and Shannon Sharp and all these people, Most High brought me. Now I'm watching videos more. Now I'm doing things, and that is how the Most High helped me to learn and to grow in the truth. But then it also says in Sirach, you gotta not be righteous over much. You know what I'm saying? And it's a lot of people that when they come into the truth, it's good that we can put aside a lot of things. But I'll still go to a baseball game. I'll still took my rib to a baseball game. We went to see the Mets play the Washington Nationals. Well, Mets actually won. You know what I'm saying? All praise to the Most High. So I'm still a sports fan. I'll still go to a basketball game. Took the kids to a basketball game in DC and watch the Nets versus the Washington Wizards. You know what I'm saying? So you still can do those things. You know what I'm saying? You still can have your children go to karate class or go, and build themselves up in that certain way. But at the same time, the Most High said, don't be over righteous over much. The what it says, Cap, where it says many books and much studying. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Make
Ecclesiastes 12.
Yeah. So people just gotta find that, and you always teach this, and you taught me this, Cap. You gotta find a righteous balance, because an unrighteous balance is an abomination, like it says in Proverbs, and that's something that you taught me. So you gotta find a righteous balance, and there's no problem with enjoying the Knicks winning a championship or enjoying a game, as long as it don't get in the way of you doing the work, as long as it don't get in the way of you studying, and sit down and enjoy your favorite TV show, or sit down, but don't go and binge watch 8 hours and you didn't even read your scriptures for the day, or you didn't even share a scripture with your wife or your husband, or would share the commandments with your children. So keep everything in perspective, and the Most High will have certain things there so we can enjoy it. And I know me and Cap is enjoying this Knicks win. You know what I'm saying? That's all praise. I know Elder Tarah enjoyed it.
Right.
We got a lot of brothers from the city. We grew up on the Knicks, so all praise to the Most High. Go ahead, Cap. Whenever you're ready, I'll bring it out. Whenever you're ready.
Con. So all praise Yahweh Shem Yahushai. I will pause. Let's start with the first video, and let me get 1 Corinthians chapter 12 and verse number 14. Right. Paul, we'll start with the first one, the one that's 9 minutes. Right. It's talking about the Knicks history and all of that stuff. Yeah, we'll start with that one. Because the reason why we're starting with this video, I want to show y'all just the history from, the old days and all of that stuff. Because remember, the Lord said in the book of Jeremiah, remember the days of old, like pertaining to seek ye the old path and walk ye in it, right? And Romans chapter 15, verse 4, where it says that this is for our learning's sake, right? We're learning about the histories of our forefathers all throughout the scriptures from the Bible, from Genesis to Revelation, right? So in order to understand the present time, you always got to go back to the past and the way it was before. Con? You always got to start, you always got to start in the beginning to the way things were before. And it's very important. Why? Because we always heard this saying, how can you know where you're going if you don't know where you come from? Right? How can you finish a matter if you don't know how the matter started? Because I'm telling you, with this Knicks run, bro, I'm telling you, it was so many stories mixed in. It was a story of redemption, right? It was a story of never giving up, enduring, the naysayers and all of that stuff, and people that lost faith and all of that. And listen, man, I gave up on this team so many times. Man, once I came with the truth, I started watching basketball. I gave up on this team. I was like, man, I'm gonna put all this to the side, whatever, because I was getting not heart attack, but it was like a damn heart attack every damn game. You living by each point and possession and scoring and all. I was like, nah, man, I can't deal with this, man. Hell no. Nah. So I literally had to give up basketball. I had to give up watching basketball. It was too much for me. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And it get like that sometimes, man. But I had to focus on Yahweh Shem Yahushai. And it's beautiful now to see something like this, especially in the truth, because it's used as a moment to give you a faith booster as well too. Because if people in the world could feel excited about a team that haven't won or got to the finals for like 53 years, right? And we got stories throughout the scriptures that could talk about that. You know, the best things comes to those that wait, right? Like Abraham. We're going to touch on that as well, too. If people could see stuff like this and be excited. And listen, I'm telling you, when y'all get a chance, just look up a video about the Knicks championship run. Same as people in Chicago about the Bulls and all of that stuff. Everybody was excited about Michael Jordan. And everybody was touched by the story of Michael Jordan during that time before he won the chip against the before he won the chip in the finals. He had a juggernaut he had to go through, and that juggernaut was the Detroit Pistons.
Right. He
God?
eventually beat the Lakers. That was his
Yeah.
first, I think, against the Lakers.
Yeah, but the Pistons was like a damn brick wall he could never get past. Right? He could never get past the Pistons. And that's a learning lesson in that as well, too, because he stood consistent with it. And guess what? He had to go back to the drawing board. He had to work out. He had to get bigger. He had to get stronger. He had to take them hits. Right? Same as with us as a people. Whatever challenges you go through, don't just give up. Become mighty in the spirit. Increase mentally, spiritually, and physically so you can overcome that trial and that test. God. Huh? Yawasop. Let me get that scripture, King.
What you want?
1 Corinthians chapter 12 and verse number 14.
This is the book of 1 Corinthians chapter 12 and verse 14. When everybody has it. Oh,
God, yeah.
we not on the Zoom no more. I think that's
right.
All praises, Salaki, y'all.
Good.
1 Corinthians chapter 12 and verse 14. For the body is not one member, but many.
Right. Read on.
If the foot shall say, because I am not the hand, I am not of the body, is it therefore not of the body?
Right. Read on.
And if the ear shall say, because I am not the eye, I am not of the body, is it therefore not of the body?
Right. So 1 Corinthians 12 is talking about specific members of the body, right? Now from there, let me get verse number 28, because all members within the body, for example, with this Knicks team, you had the point guard who was Jalen Brunson, right? You had Karl Anthony Towns, who was Dominican. You had Jose Alvarado, who's Puerto Rican, right? You had OG Anunoby, I don't know if he Judah, I'm not sure. You know, the jury is out and all of that stuff, right? You know what I'm saying? Well, I'm not gonna be a respected person. You know what I'm saying? Jalen Brunson
play like a Judite, Cap.
Right, he played like a Judite. He played like a Judite.
You know what I'm saying? He played like Judah, King.
Right, good. Nah, for real, like on all jokes aside, but it's crazy because, and even Jalen Brunson, you know, I believe he's Judah. Some brothers say otherwise, but listen, goddamn, we gonna see. We gonna find out, goddamn it, right? But I ain't gonna lie. Y'all what's up? I'm gonna tell you straight up, King. Out of all the Knicks team I've seen throughout the years, this was the most diverse representation and a perfect example of Israelites coming together as a collective unit. Right? I'm talking about from all different background, walks of life, and all of that. And you know what's cool about this team? They was all like castaways.
Right.
Everybody gave up on them. You know what I'm saying? It's like they wasn't the A team.
Right, they was the B team.
Right, they was the B shit. They was the Z team out there. They was everybody's last option. They wasn't the A team. It's like the Suicide Squad. Remember the movie The Suicide Squad? Right, and those were what? Those were a gathering of people or supervillains, whatever, and all of that stuff. And they was known as the castaways.
Right.
But when they came together, they learned how to work together as a team, and they overcame all obstacles because they had a good chemistry amongst each other. Right? Let's get that verse, King. Verse 28.
The book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 12 and verse 28. And Yahweh hath set some in the church, first apostles, secondarily prophets, thirdly teachers, after that miracles, then gifts of healings, helps, governments, diversities of tongues.
Right, read on.
Are all apostles? Are all prophets? Are all teachers? Are all workers of miracles? Have all the gifts of healing? Do all speak with tongues? Do all interpret?
Right.
But covet earnestly the best gifts.
All right, hold
And
that
get
right there. Khan,
God.
hold that right there. So I'm using that precept to show you the different positions within the team, right? Same as they say apostles, teachers, prophets, healers, miracle workers, gift of tongues, those that speak different languages, so on and so forth, right? Same as
Right.
within a sports team or a basketball team, right? You have the point guard, you have the shooting guard, you have the small forward, the power forward, you got the center, right? You got the bench, you got the six man, God. Same as with a camp, same as with a body. You got the captains, you got the officers, the elders, the bishops, you know what I'm saying? The deacons, so on and so forth, the soldiers, the people that support, right? The sisters that help and with the feast days, with donations and all of that stuff. People just in general that also watch. Like this is all part of a blueprint and structure the Lord already set up. Same as with a basketball team. Or it could be football, any sports or whatever. And remember, don't be simple, Israel, because listen, this devil never created any damn thing.
Right.
Everything came from us, right? This devil never created anything. He waits till we create it, then he patent it and steal the idea.
God.
Right? Now, within a basketball team, you have the point guard. They got to know all the plays. They got to know how to set people up, how to pass, and all of this stuff. They got to know when to take over. They got to know when to slash through the defense. Pick and roll and all of that stuff. You got the center. He's the big man. He's the one that got to be holding it down in the paint and block the shots when they come in. Dominant. Like every player has a specific position. Now, when you take a player and you switch their position, for example, Karl Anthony Towns, who was the center, he's a good playmaker and he's also a center, but you can't put him as a point guard. Con? You can't put him as a point guard because what? You put him as a point guard, the big man is out the paint, and what happens now? The rest of the people within the team is shorter, so what happens? The opponent that they fought in this match was Victor Wembanyama, whatever his name is, right?
Right, the Frenchman.
Right, the Frenchman. And I'm gonna show y'all the spiritual aspect of this series, and it's crazy, right? So Jalen Brunson, he's like what, like 6 something, like 6'1", right?
Yeah.
Or short point guard, right? Now, the narrative throughout the sports, NBA, and all of that stuff is you can't win with a short point guard,
right?
At all, right? You got to adapt to the times, and you got to get the the new age of the 8-foot dudes and pulling up with 3-pointers and all of that stuff, and like what the hell, right? But Jalen Brunson, as a man that was of a short stature, everybody looked down upon him, right? And the reason why I came up with this lesson as well to tie it into Israel, because Israel, the Lord even said it. Let me get Deuteronomy chapter 7, King. In verse number 7.
It's the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 7, starting at verse number 7. The Lord did not set his love upon you, nor choose you, because ye were more in number than any people. For ye were the fewest of all people.
Right, read on.
But because the Lord loved you, and because he would keep the oath which he had sworn unto your fathers, hath the Lord brought you out with a mighty hand, and redeemed you out of the house of bondmen, from the hand of Pharaoh, king of Egypt. Right.
So the Lord said he loved us as a people because of the promise he had with us and with the fewest of the people. The Lord don't deal with big numbers. The Lord does not deal with big numbers, or even like the biggest or the giant or the tallest. For example, look at the story what happened in 1 Samuel with Saul. Right? Israel said they wanted a king, same as the other nations. and they wanted to go against Yahweh Shem Yahushua. They didn't want the Lord to be their king. They wanted to follow the ways of the heathens. So what did the Lord say? The Lord said, I'm going to give you a king, all right? But the king I'm going to give you, boy, he going to be proud. He going to be cocky. He going to be disrespectful. He going to use and abuse you as a people. He going to take your sons and daughters and put them in his military. All the resources and the money that comes in, you people going to have to give unto him for his bank and his treasury, right? He going to be selfish. He going to be narcissistic. But guess what? That's within. But from the outside, the Lord says he's going to give the people of Israel Saul. Guess what? He was the tallest among all the Israelites during that time from the tribe of Benjamin. God? And what happened? Everything that the Lord said he was going to manifest and do in that time, he did. He went from being a mighty man of God, slaying the 5,000 of the Philistines, slaughtering the heathens and all of this stuff. And then later on, he became proud and cocky. And now he started to kill his own people. He started to betray his own people. He started to not take accountability for anything that he did wrong against the Lord, right? And I want to show you another example. Let me get 1 Samuel chapter 16. The Lord don't care. He don't care how you 8'30". He don't give a damn. It's about the spirit. From within, right? Let me get 1 Samuel chapter 16. And let me get verse number 5.
The book of 1 Samuel chapter 16 and verse number 5. And he said, peaceably, I am come to sacrifice unto the Lord. Sanctify yourselves and come with me to the sacrifice. And he sanctified Jesse and his sons and called them to the sacrifice.
Right, read on.
And it came to pass when they were come that he looked on Eliab and said, surely the Lord's anointed is before him. But the Lord said unto Samuel, look not on his countenance or the height of his stature.
Hold that, Ak. The Lord sent Samuel to go anoint a new king for Israel to replace Saul in due time, right? And he went to the house of Jesse, right? And we already know within the house of Jesse was David, who was the littlest brother of all of them. He had like about 7 or 8 brothers, right? So the first one Samuel seen, who was tall as hell, right? Big, strong, and a warrior of status from the outside and all of that. The one that everybody thought would be the next king or whatever. Samuel even thought that. The Lord said, no, that's not him. But Samuel like, shit, the way he look.
Right.
Big, strong. He got all the muscles, 6% body fat. And you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
He got the sword and the armor, and he looking majestic. He looked like King Arthur himself in the flesh. The way he look, he got to be the one. He got to be the chosen one. He got to be the next one up. He got to be the face of the league. You know what I'm saying?
Right, God.
Right? Like, it got to be him. Right? Con, I got you on par. It got to be him. Even in the time of Michael Jordan, remember, how many people looked down upon him, even in college? His coach even told him in college, right? He came into the league and people was looking down upon him, and he was known as a giant killer. You know?
Right.
All the superstars that came up that they thought would be the best, and when they seen Jordan, he said, nigga, we ain't got no chance, bro. Got a chance.
God.
And he was like just 6'6". You know, you had people 7 feet, you had people like 6'9" and 6'10", and they was terrified of Jordan, right? But imagine we got a person that was on the Knicks team named Jalen Brunson at his height. Another example, I look at Iverson, Allen Iverson, at his height and his stature, playing against the Lakers, who had Shaq and Kobe. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
It was looking like giants against. Shaq was literally like 7-something against Allen Iverson, who was like 6'1" or 6 feet or whatever, and all of that stuff. But the way he played, he had no fear. That's the mentality that he had. He took on all challenges, right? But read on.
Look not on his countenance or on the height of his stature, because I have refused him. For the Lord seeth not as man seeth, for man looketh on the outward appearance, But the Lord looketh on the heart.
And you see, the heart ties into what? Your mentality, your mind, right? It said the Lord don't look at the outward appearance, but he looks at the heart. And that also ties in for us as Israelites. We got one of the, no respect to persons, but we got one of the most humblest elders throughout the nation. God, Elder Zabak. You know what I'm saying? Elder priest is and at his height, no folly, at his height and all of this stuff, right? He's not 10 foot tall and all of that. You know what I'm saying? At the height that he is, and the elder is mighty with the edification, the teaching, has no fear against the heathens, has no fear of backing down against his own people and all of that stuff. Right? Like we got so many examples. Even for Detroit, look at Isaiah Thomas. Right? Even for the Warriors, Stephen Curry. Right? So many people at a short stature, as they would say, but their mentality. The same as with a lion, right? Keep going.
Then Jesse called Abinadab and made him pass before Samuel. And he said, neither hath the Lord chosen this. Then Jesse made Shammah to pass by. And he said, neither hath the Lord chosen this.
Right, you see?
Again.
So that's people looking, he got to be number one pick. Nah, not him. It got to be the number two. It got to be the number three. It got to be the number four. Right? And what's happening? The actual one that's going to be the greatest is the one that's getting passed down by everybody else and overlooked. Like with David Brothers. Hey, that's the first option. If not him, that's the second. His brother's the second option. No, the next brother, the third option. No, he got to be the fourth option. But the one that the Lord decided to pick is the one nobody ever chose within their rankings or list. Because they looked at the stature. They looked at the height of the person and not the spirit of the person. They couldn't measure the spirit of the person and that person's mentality. Right, read on.
Again, Jesse made 7 of his sons to pass before Samuel. And Samuel said unto Jesse, the Lord hath not chosen these.
You see? So 7 symbolize completion. Right? But the Lord has not chose any of this guy's brother. Right? Read on.
And Samuel said unto Jesse, hear all thy children. And he said, there remaineth yet the youngest, and behold, he keepeth the sheep.
Oh, it says, there remaineth the youngest, but he keepeth the sheep. So what was David's occupation? He was a shepherd. He took care of the sheep. Right? Now, the rest of his brothers was warriors on the battlefield, but with him being a shepherd, it was kind of looked down upon compared to a warrior. But you don't understand the life lessons you will learn as being a shepherd and a protector of the sheep. You got to learn discipline, right? You got to learn compassion, dealing with the sheep and how they grow, and lambs and sheep. They're like little kids all over the place. You got to learn how to have discipline and control them and set them in the right narrow path. Same as dealing with a child, right? And they're happy-go-lucky and all of this stuff. And you got to embrace their nature, but also you got to guide their path for them. You got to feed them. You got to take care of them. You got to shave the coats, right? Nourish them. You got to protect them. Right. And didn't David said that the Lord gave him the strength to kill a lion and a bear? And why was that? To protect the sheep. So he was a shepherd, right? Read on.
He keepeth the sheep. And Samuel said unto Jesse, send and fetch him, for we will not sit down until he come hither. And he sent and brought him in. Now he was ruddy, and withal of a beautiful countenance, and goodly to look to. And the Lord said, arise, anoint him, for this is he.
Right. So he was like, they say, like a quote unquote pretty boy physically, but from the spiritual aspect, right? It was like pure. right? But then also, remember, the rest of his brothers is warriors. So they never seen him on a battlefield. But the thing about him, he had a stronger mentality than the rest of his brothers. But they couldn't see that because that's from within, right? You can't really measure a person's mentality. You can't really measure a person's heart, right? Like what you call it? Who is it? Muhammad Ali and George Foreman, right? And Frazier. Ali wasn't bigger than all of them, but he had that toughness, he had that endurance, he had that resistance, right? He had that longevity, he had that stamina. He lasts longer in the ring, and they got tired out. They kept throwing heavy punches at him. He was hitting them with the bobbing and the weaving, you know, flow like a butterfly, sting like a bee.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And he kept getting tired out. Look what's even colder. Mike Tyson, when he first started his career, he had that power. He had that punching power, boy. And when he came in, it was with a straight up knockout. Right? But one of the matches that he lost, how did he lose? Because he couldn't last. So the way that he attacked quick, fast, in a hurry, but he couldn't last. He didn't have enough stamina and endurance later on. Right? So he would psych the opponent out with psychological warfare. And plus he had that power. He had that punching power.
Right.
Right? That one-hitter quitter.
God.
Yeah, on part. Whenever you're ready, you can play the video, King. You know what I'm saying? Let me get Romans chapter 15 and verse number 4. Because I just want to touch on a little bit with David. The Lord looked at David as not just a tall man physically, right? He was short physically, but it was about his spirit, right? The mentality that he had, right? Let me get Romans 15 and verse 4, King.
This is the book of Romans, chapter 15 and verse 4. For whatsoever things were written aforetime were written for our learning, that we through patience and comfort of the scriptures might have hope.
Right, that we through patience and comfort of the scriptures might have hope. And listen, right? Learning the history of your forefathers and all the things they had to endure to become known as the people that they are today throughout the scriptures, and your foremothers as well too. Look at Abraham. We're going to touch on Abraham had to wait 100 years, right? For Isaac, right? Look at Judith. Judith, the fear that she had when Ahasuerus and Haman was trying to wipe out the whole nation of Israel. But she had to be patient. She had to wait. And she told the nation to do a 3-day fast and listen. She was about to make a sacrifice. She's like, listen, if I go into the king's quarters, right? And he don't accept me and he just kills me and I die, well, I'm willing to sacrifice my life to help protect my nation. Right? Like we got so many examples all throughout the scriptures. Yeah, on part. Whenever you want to play the video, you can do it, King.
Quick precept,
go ahead,
if you
King.
want, Cap.
Go ahead, Doc.
On David being our shepherd, right? Even still, Saul was also a shepherd. You know, that's how he started out as well. So the Most High always chose a shepherd to lead us. Well, and we know Yahweh is the great shepherd. So in Hebrews chapter 13 and 20, it says, now the God of peace that brought again from the dead our Lord Yahweh, that great shepherd of the sheep. So Yahweh is the great shepherd of the sheep. And he gets that from the bloodline of David, going back to David being a great shepherd, being able to protect the sheep from the lion, protect the sheep from the bear, and also going out and standing up to Goliath. You know what I'm saying? Just like you saw in the natural world, we just saw the same thing happen with the smallest point guard on the floor going up against a 7 foot 4 giant and webbing up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And
we're gonna touch on that too, King. Keep going now.
My bad, Cap. I was jumping the gun.
No, we're gonna touch on. Hey, we got many guns. Wait, what they say? I got 100 guns.
100 guns, 100 clips. God. All praises. But that Yahweh is our great shepherd, and that's something that we got to realize and understand, that he is here. He will protect us. He will provide for us. He will lead us. He will
God.
guide us. And Yahweh Shai even said, if one sheep go astray, he's willing to go out and bring that sheep back on his back and put us on his back. Just like you seen Jalen Brunson in the fifth game, he put the whole team on his back and said, "Nah, we bringing this home." So Yahweh Shai will do the same thing for us. We just got to have faith and believe, and we got to trust in Yahweh Shai that he's not gonna leave us and forsake us.
God, beautiful point, King. And we're also gonna touch on First Maccabees with the Maccabees brothers as well.
God.
Yeah, I played a 9-minute video. You get a chance. I just want to show y'all just a quick history of Knicks fans and the things, boy. How this team, just when you thought they're about to get it, they're about to get the ring, and then boom, another disappointment.
Right.
Non-stop, back to back to back to back. Right? Yeah, let's get the first one. In the Nick of Time, that one. Yeah. It was just. Hold on, let me see. Yep, let's get that one right there. Yeah. All right, Con. Yeah, you can start it over. I got the sound with this one. Start it from the beginning. All right. Con, let's go. Con.
No, but you have absolutely bad. We just want to continue to keep working hard, keep building the program back up, and hey, let's go Knicks. This was our real team. Langston Galloway, Tim Hardaway Jr., Cole Aldrich, Jason Smith, and Lance Thomas. And how can we forget Shane Larkin, Lou Amundsen, Clay Anthony Early? Do you know how insane it is to go from that to quite possibly the greatest Knicks team I've ever seen in my life? Because I grew up when the Knicks were good. Patrick Ewing, 13 straight playoff appearances, 2 NBA finals. I grew up in New York in the 90s, where, of course, you know basketball felt like war. And in 1994, everyone in New York thought we were going to win the championship.
Hey, pause that.
My dad, he knew what we all knew.
Pause that, King. You heard what the guy said? He said basketball feels like war. Con? Do you know why he said basketball feels like war? Because it is war, but on what? On a sports field. Con? Sports is another aspect of war on a sports field. Why you think so many people, like different cities, will literally gather to watch their sports team? Right? And what they're doing, they're cheering for their team, same as in war, same as with us with Israel. Israel versus the Philistines and the heathens. The heathens had their team, they had their support, right? The Philistines had the damn the Philistine cheerleaders and all of that stuff in the cut supporting them, and the citizens. Why? Because if they win, everybody is happy. The revenue is going to increase, the resources. They got the treasures and all of that stuff from the opponents that they just beat and killed in war. And it's going to bring up a new boom in their economy for their people. But what happens? If they lose, they become what? Prisoners. God? And the winner takes over that whole entire city. And that's in book of Deuteronomy chapter 20, where the Lord speaks about war and going against other nations. So even on sports on the battlefield, the sports field is another aspect of war as well, too. That's why people get pissed off and mad. Their team lose, they feel like they lost. You know, they representing their city and all of this stuff, right? Their team lose, they're the laughing stock. But they win, they feel all the glory and happy and cheerful and all of that. That ties in also to war. And also with us as the nation of Israel, we're in a spiritual war right now. Esau coming at us with so many deceptions, witches, warlocks. What do you call it? Changing up the stories throughout the media, confusing the people, right? Systematic oppression, gentrification. All that is all aspects of war that they're using against us. Biological warfare. Our people going to their hospitals and getting even more sick, right? They're poisoning us through the food. That's all part of Esau's warfare against us. Okay? Right? You keep playing that.
But just didn't want to admit, as great as Patrick Ewing was, Hakeem Olajuwon was just better. And he didn't believe Patrick Ewing could outplay Hakeem Olajuwon enough for the Knicks to win the championship. And guess what? He was right. So as you can see, hating is in my blood. All jokes aside, these are the kind of things that lead you to believe the Knicks just can't do it. I will always choose what I see over what I so desperately want to believe. And being a Knicks fan, that becomes survival because you truly don't understand how bad it was.
Knicks down by one. Here's Starks, changed his mind. A shot clock out of 10. Ewing for Smith again. Scottie Pippen. Final seconds. Jordan for Armstrong. The Bulls have defeated the Knicks.
Hey, Ak, you can pause it real quick. Right? So that when the Knicks was playing the Bulls, with that situation, the brother kept trying to get the basket in, and the Bulls play just kept blocking him. No matter what he did, he just kept getting blocked left and right. He did like 5 or 6 attempts. Right? That also ties into us as a people. We start to lack confidence when we're inspired. We got goals in mind, right? And we like, man, we're going to get this done. We're going to get this happen. We're going to get this. By next year, we're going to get this working. You know, we're going to get this new job, new gig. We're going to get this new house, you know, all of this stuff, new car, whatever, by next year, right? And then what happens? Whatever goals you had set up is like a stumbling block. You got things that's trying to stop you from getting to that specific goal. And with that dude, bro, man, we still talk about that to this day, man. He tried to score that, and he kept blocking him nonstop. And every chance he had, he just kept going through the brick wall nonstop. Right? And it's like whatever you try to do, nothing could work. Nothing could make sense. No, you can't find no success in any attempt you're trying to make in these times in life. What happens now? You start to lack confidence. You start to put your head down. Because the dude had literally 5 or 6 to do with that act. Y'all was like, what would you do with that act?
Yo, the worst part to me is not I don't know if it's gonna come up in the video, but my worst memory as a Knicks fan was when they was in the finals and Patrick Ewing missed.
Yeah, that's coming too.
Yo, I can't.
That's in there too.
That was the biggest heartbreak that I ever had as a little kid. Because the man is 7'1". He could have just turned his wrist and dunked it. He was right there. And I remember, I think I cried when I seen that. You know what I'm saying? I was a little kid when that dream happened, probably 12, 13 years old. Yo, I was so upset with life at that point. I was like, that even made me not want to play basketball. You know, that was what made me focus. Like, okay, I actually want to play football. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, because I think around the same Giants must have won with Lawrence Taylor. So I was like, you know what? I like football better than I like basketball because they all are just so sad. But you know, that's part of the good thing about sports is, and certain things is it teaches you those life lessons. You know what I'm saying? There's different parts of things that you might go through that will teach you. Like you said, with Mike Tyson, even he talks about how he wasn't prepared and he wasn't ready, especially because he had come out of jail and he was used to just knocking everybody out. Then all of a sudden he wasn't really knocking out the big big superstars anymore, Lennox Lewis, so on and so forth. So it's kind of like that. We just but you break I gotta focus on the win because it's about to break my heart if you're gonna play that Patrick Ewing joint. You bring back a bad memory right there.
God.
You on point. All praise to the Most High.
Yeah, but we gotta remember because that even could tie into our nation and people. They was in certain situations and you would have thought they was gonna succeed, but they just kept getting stopped. For example, Peter, man, bro. When people was reading Matthews before, and then when he was surrounded by the crowd, and they said that he was with Yahushua, remember Peter was like, "Listen, man, I'm ready to go to prison with you. I'm ready to die for you." Right? That's like a person. Listen, man, just give me the ball. I got it. I'm gonna make the shot and all of that stuff. And you could count on me, coach. I got this. We got this. And when that moment comes, what happened? What happened? Remember Chris Webber?
Peter choked up in that moment. You know what I'm saying? Peter choked.
Remember? Yeah, that's why I said, remember Chris Webber?
God.
That timeout that he did, what was it? Was it college?
Yeah, that was the Fab Five when he played for Michigan.
Yeah.
He pulled the timeout and they didn't have no timeouts dang on left.
And what happened? He froze.
He froze up.
And that moment in his life, he will never forget that moment.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
People still talk about it till this day.
Till this day, right. So even imagine with Peter, that's why he had to redeem himself. Because when Yahushua was getting crucified and they was all snitching, that woman said, "Listen, man, he was there. I know I seen him at camp with Yahushua."
Right.
It wasn't me. I didn't do it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And the dude got blocked more than 3 times. Right? Peter denied the Lord 3 times. In that moment. Right? And what happened? He had to redeem himself because the Lord was looking dead at him, and the Lord already told him you was going to deny me 3 times. But he didn't believe it at the moment. And all this is part of learning lessons through life. Right? You're going to get to that damn brick wall, that wall, and it's like you can't, whatever you do, you can't get past it. You can't overcome it. But that don't mean to give up.
Right.
Get back to the drawing board. I done tried this 3 or 4 times, man. It's still like, God damn, man, what the hell? What am I doing wrong? Get back to the drawing board. Don't quit. It's like a person that's digging for gold. The gold is hidden deep within the earth, within the soil, and it's 10 feet. So you got 7 days to get the gold, right? The first day you dig is only 2 feet you dig. Second day you dig 3 feet. Third day, you made it to 5 feet. 4th, 5, 6, 7, so on and so forth. By the last day, you dig 9 feet. And you just gave up, right? You just had to dig 1 more feet and you would have got the gold. And you know what's Kodak? Somebody comes around later on and they see a big ditch. Like, what the hell is that? They jump in the ditch. And they say, man, let me see what the hell is it. I see something right there that's shining. Let me dig a little. The dude only dig 1 feet and he got the gold his damn self. You know what I'm saying? Don't let a certain situation in your life stop you. And you start to become depressed and you start to give up. And then next to what happens, somebody else gonna get that glory.
Right.
And you're gonna regret it. Right? Yeah, you can play the video, King. Let's see what's back on.
Game that's seen nearly 60 fouls called. Actually, that is short of the record for both teams in a playoff game. Miller for 3, and he got it. Starks cuts to the corner. Inbounds to Miller.
So what happened with Reggie Miller? He got the three. Nah.
So the Indiana Pacers have defeated the New York Knicks 97-95 to take the series in 7.
I know you can feel the pain. That was as good as it was going to be for a very long time. Because after the Knicks didn't just start losing, they became the laughing stock of the NBA. Terrible seasons, false hope every year, literal paper bags over our heads. My entire high school and college years, the Knicks were a joke. And then we cheered for Carmelo Anthony. And even after having anyone as good as Carmelo Anthony, I hated this trade. Not because Melo went splinted, but because we gave up our entire team. And this is the moment where I started hating the idea of gutting your team just to get a superstar. Clearly, I've always loved the underdog story, and I love that we were piecing together a really good team with players that other teams had given up on. Again, I just watched Patrick Ewing go to 13 straight playoffs with no other Hall of Fame players. So when I see Amari Stoudemire playing at an MVP level with these guys, I don't want to mess that up by bringing in someone else who does the same thing Amari Stoudemire does. It's also why I'm glad the Jazz declined the offer for Donovan Mitchell. We would have shot ourselves in the foot doing this. Mitchell Robinson has been invaluable for us, and RJ Barrett and these 3 first-round picks helped get OG Anunoby and Mikal Bridges. I'm so glad this didn't go through because I've seen this movie before. Then there's the day I saw Julius Randle step to Kevin Garnett. And that's that New York energy. I recognized it immediately. And then once Kobe Bryant stamped it, Julius Randle quickly became one of my favorite players. And then he comes to the Knicks? And people can laugh now, but the real ones know Julius Randle brought the Knicks back from hell. This man took Elfrid Payton, Reggie Bullock, RJ Barrett, and Nerlens Noel to the playoffs. This team had no business being anywhere near the playoffs, but this is a step in the right direction. You got your favorite player leading your favorite team to the playoffs. We need something else. And then we signed him. And I'll admit it, when we first signed him, I thought we overpaid him. I thought he was going to be a really good second option to Julius Randle, but I was wrong. Dead wrong. Because almost immediately you could feel it. Jalen Brunson was different. And now this man has the New York Knicks in the NBA Finals. And yes, I was one of those people that said he's too small. He's really good, but he can't lead us to a championship. And even though I had the logic of seeing someone like Steve Nash win 2 MVPs and never lead any team where Jalen Brunson just did, height means nothing if nobody can stop you. And everybody's better than Jalen Brunson until it's time to be better than Jalen Brunson. And honestly, the team I fell in love with was Jalen Brunson, Dante DiVincenzo, OG Anunoby, Julius Randle, Isaiah Hartenstein, / Mitchell Robinson, of course. That team felt like New York basketball. Tough, physical, gritty, scrappy, but connected and together. And then Julius Randle gets hurt. And before he even has a chance to redeem himself, he gets traded, and I was furious. Because you mean to tell me that we traded my favorite player and our toughest guys for this guy? All the jokes we've been saying about Cat for 10 years, I was saying them too. I didn't care about the talent. I cared about the toughness. And Julius Randle felt way more like New York than Cat did. And fast forward, in typical Knick fashion, we go back to the future.
Indiana with it. He'll take it. Go back to 3 for the win.
Yeah, and you can't convince me that shot didn't change everything because even though Tom Thibodeau coached Jalen Brunson into superstardom, won Coach of the Year, took the Knicks to the Eastern Conference Finals, literally was the coach that brought New York basketball back. The Knicks just fired him. And honestly, that's fine if you want to go in a different direction. If you at least know the direction you want to go in. We just started asking other teams if we could interview their coach. And Knicks fans were sitting around like, what the hell are we doing? And then we just hire Mike Brown out of nowhere. And if we're all being honest, we know this felt random. Nobody saw this coming. And for a lot of people, this hire solidified the Knicks being the Knicks. And all season, the Knicks looked very familiar. Cat still had the same issues early on. Mikal Bridges never fully looked comfortable. And that's all up until about 11 games ago because this performance is in this playoff run. Karl Anthony Towns wasn't even all NBA. OG not making first team all defense is a crime. And Josh Hart and Mikal Bridges didn't.
Hey, pause that, Ak. Pause that real quick. So, y'all, what's up? You still there? Come on, let me know you still there, King. Because I want to show y'all from the man trying to make 7 attempts and get blocked by all the Bulls player to with the Pacers, man, Reggie Miller made a 6-point play in less than 10 seconds, which is unheard of, unseen before, right? To Patrick Ewing missing the damn game-winning layup when he should have dunked it, right? It was like, man, it was like, listen, boy, it was like stuff you couldn't explain. And we was like, God damn, it got to be a curse on this team, man. Ain't no way in hell. There got to be some type of curse. Because when the moments count, they make some of the dumbest mistakes ever in history, man. And people was getting frustrated, like, God damn, we right there, and you just let us down, like at the last second. Right? And if you look throughout this picture right here where it says not all NBA first team, that was Jalen Brunson, Karl Anthony Towns, not all NBA. OG Anunoby, who was one of the best with defense and all of that stuff. Right? And he had Mikal Bridges and Josh Hart, right? This list right here, if you see the picture, is showing these were the people that was counted out, which symbolize also Israelites, right? Everybody look down upon us. They don't care about us. They like these niggas right here, man. You know, Proverbs, nigga, black, porch monkey, right? Wetback, right? Ain't no way in hell they gonna make it together. They gonna come together and overcome whatever challenges they going through. Niggas gonna be niggas, right? They don't know how to come together to have a business. They don't know how to come together to be successful, how to come together to fight against the oppressor, how to come together against the other nation, especially the damn Chinese man that just killed the young man, 14 years old. But all the money they got to spend, we as a people, especially Judah, literally generates $7 trillion a year of spending. Right? 7 trillion. And if you look it up, people that have the money that's equal to 7 trillion, that's a country. But when it comes to Judah, we spend $7 trillion a year. And none of that money comes back to us as a people. It's us spending money with other nations, and we're empowering them. Like the example was going on now with the Moabite that killed the 14-year-old boy. Now Judah is having a bit of a boycott against Moabite businesses, Chinese businesses, right? And that video with the Chinese man, I say, go ahead, you can boycott us. We don't give a damn. It's not going to stop. You're going to still support us. Well, guess what? There's a new video out on YouTube. You can look it up. Now they all complaining. Now Moab is complaining that their business is falling down, and you know nobody want to support them no more. The black people don't want to support them no more. So that shows you what? When we do according to what the Lord told us to do by keeping the Lord's commandments and having love and compassion and consider one another and support each other, right? The Lord will bless certain situations like that to where we're bringing damage to these other nations by not even spending with them, but keeping the money and the resources with us as a people, right? Like the Lord said, Leviticus chapter 19 and verse number 16 on down, to have love towards your neighbor and towards your own people, right? And that's part of the Levitical law. That's part of us dealing with each other pertaining to finances, right? Pertaining to support. Even in the movie, I think they cloned Tyrone. It showed you, Jamie Foxx was the actor for that movie. It showed you our people in the neighborhood and all the business stores that was around us was all owned by the heathen. Every business store that they had throughout the movie was all owned by the heathen. And whatever we owned, it was corrupt. The church that we owned, guess what? The white man was the one that put us in that seminary school. And then the pastor's now teaching our people wickedness and confusion. Said, love God, believe in God, and, you know, come in as you are and sin and all of this stuff, right? The chicken spot that we own, it's like the chicken spot that we go to and eat at, Popeyes, we don't own that. right? A lot of times it'd be Elam that owns places like that, or Ishmael. The laundromats, most of the laundromats, we don't own those places. Most of the time, it'll probably be Moab, even the hair salon and the nail salon. The clubs, people go with the lounge to go and party and gather. We don't own those places. Secretly, a lot of people think it's just probably Ishmael, whatever. Nah, it's Esau and especially Amalek. The music, we don't control the music, right? The music industry, we don't control that. Amalek controls all of that, right? So even with us as a people, as a nation, all the money that we have, the spending power worth $7 trillion, right? So I'm correlating that to this video, also to this picture right here. All these people that you see on this picture, they were all known as castaways. Nobody had, faith in them or even believed them or anything. Same as with us as nation of Israel. All these nations look down upon us. They don't think we're going to get it right. Right? We've been at the bottom for so long because of the curse that we're suffering, which is Deuteronomy 28, that the nations still mock us and laugh at us to this day. And they don't ever think we're going to get it right one day. I think you're probably on mute, Doc. You can play the video, King.
Individual awards at all. This team is full of players that are not respected as individual players. And that is exactly how we want it. Because in the playoffs, everything changed. Cat stopped trying to prove he was a scorer and entered his Nikola Jokic era. He became the playmaker, and once he started controlling the offense, his assists doubled. Suddenly, Mikal Bridges stops disappearing because he's actually being found. And he's not the only one. Landry Shamet cannot miss. Every single game feels like the Knicks are the dominant team. And the team that was 2 points away from sweeping the entire Eastern Conference is not the team we've seen all season. This team evolved, and Mike Brown deserves way more credit than he's going to get. People are already saying that the Knicks had an easy path. No, the Knicks just made the path look easy. There's a big difference. Everybody was waiting for the Knicks to collapse. Most people thought the Pistons, Celtics, and Cavaliers would come out of the East before the Knicks. And when they went up against the Hawks, y'all picked the Hawks. And when they went up against the Sixers, y'all picked the Sixers. The Knicks beat the Hawks and then swept both teams that beat the teams that were supposed to beat us. For the first time in my life, I don't feel like the Knicks gon' Knick. I don't feel false hope. I really believe we can do it. I'm not watching the entire basketball world laugh at our franchise for once. And the New York Knicks are in the finals for the first time since 1999.
Khan, so that's the first video I just wanted to show y'all. Just a quick history and synopsis of the Knicks and how they felt with the curses on them and all of that stuff. Whatever they try to do, it was like bad luck no matter what, right? From that time with Patrick Ewing, who's an Israelite from the tribe of Benjamin, who tried to carry the team by himself. It was like a one-man show. He had Charles Oakley, so on and so forth, right? But what makes this team different is they had teamwork and more togetherness and less about ego. It wasn't about ego, right? And I'm going to show y'all through the rest of these couple of videos the teamwork, the effort, the sacrifice that they made, right? Being counted out, being cast away, and it's all symbolized us as the nation of Israel, right? I believe in my spirit, truly, the Lord allowed the Knicks to win to show Israel an example, like what we can do as a nation. And we learn to sacrifice for each other and learn how to come together as a team, as a family, right? And not just want to do things by our own selves and all of that stuff, and also being patient and waiting, but doing things according to the correct way, according to the ways of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. That's just my opinion. Yawasop, you there? I think you're on mute, Doc.
Khan, what scripture you call, Cap?
Jeremiah chapter 16. Let me get Jeremiah Slakia. Let me get Jeremiah chapter 6 and verse number 16. Yeah, we got like 40 minutes left, King. So let's get on this with this. God. I'm bringing Jeremiah 6 and verse 16. Yeah, hold on. I'm gonna bring Jeremiah 6 verse 16 because it's funny. If you watch sports, every team have their own personnel. They have their own style of play, right? what made the New York Knicks stand out during that time they went to the finals is that they were tough, right? It wasn't about just one player. They all moved together as a team. They was gritty. They was tough, right? And they had a certain structure, and their personality also merged with the ways of the mentality of the people of New York City. Tough, hardworking, diligent, find a way to make things work out. And anything you want to say about New York, because for my testimony, New York is like a pressure cooker. You damn near oppress in every damn angle, every kind of way you could think of, man. Right? And it's like the concrete jungle. You gotta find a way, to overcome to make it work. Yeah. You park your car and next year you got 50 tickets.
That's why they
okay.
Salakia, they say if you can make it here, you can make it anywhere. And every time I come back to the city, from whether I'm traveling, down south, up north, it's other places have their cities. Massachusetts has Boston. The DMV got Washington, DC. You know what I'm saying? Down in North Carolina, they got Raleigh, they got Charlotte. But it's like you said, New York is a whole different type of oppression. And everybody's right on top of each other. When you look up the word ghetto, that is a place where they put Jews. You know what I'm saying? And so they have been doing this for a long time, because Esau is crafty. Esau saw that when Joseph was the second in command in Egypt, the Pharaoh gave him Goshen, and Goshen wasn't the hood. Goshen was actually the best of the land. It was right off the water. Like we was almost living in almost like a paradise, right off the Nile, right off the water. We had the best of the land, and the Egyptians got jealous of it. So the Egyptians put us into that hard rigor, because they saw we was prospering, and we was actually the reason that even Egypt was prospering. And then ever since then, if you look at it, that's what Esau has always done. Esau goes into the scriptures with sports, with entertainment. Esau knows that we are the Most High's chosen, that we are above all people that are on the face of the earth. We are the Most High's creme de la creme. We are the Most High's best of the best, right? And you read it earlier. You brought it out. The Most High didn't choose us because we was the most amongst the people. But when he did choose us, he told us who we are, and we are Israelites. We are from the seed of Jacob, from the seed of Isaac, from the seed of Abraham. And we have power with God and with man. That's what Israel means. When the Most High changed Jacob's name, our forefather Jacob's name, he changed it to Israel, which means we have power with God and with man. So Esau knows this, and he exploits us for it. As much money as the sports players and the entertainers make, you know how much more money that white man sitting at the top of the sports center that owns us and that still treats us like slaves, treats our players and our people like slaves is making? If for every millionaire, they got a white guy billionaire that's sitting on top. I don't know if everybody remembers back when the Los Angeles I'm thinking Los Angeles Kings, not the Los Angeles Kings. The Clippers.
No, the Clippers. The Clippers.
Right, the Clippers owners. He treating people like slaves, man. They had a whole series on it. If anybody ever get the chance, check out that series. Lawrence Fishburne plays Doc Rivers, and is a really good series, man, that they had out maybe a year or two ago. And it just showcases, they went deep in it on how these white owners treat millionaire black people like slaves, like they don't mean nothing to them. You know what I'm saying? So it just goes to show that Esau knows we are the ones with the talent, we are the ones with the skill, we are the ones with the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, and he tries to direct our people to use it in the wrong way, especially in the music industry. At least with sports, you could kind of, you physical, you know what I'm saying? You learn maybe different lessons, but you get into that music industry, man. Y'all seen the Diddy tape? The Diddy tape that just came out that everybody's going nuts about. Y'all seen the Diddy trial, and the Ray J madness that's going on with Ray J. All these people that's in the music industry, they get messed up. They get jacked up, man. And it's Esau who jacks us up. You know what I'm saying?
Con.
Hey,
Let's get
Cap,
Jeremiah 6. Con. Beautiful point as well, King. Because you're right. Beautiful point. Let's get that. Jeremiah 6 and 16.
all praises. The book of Jeremiah, chapter 6 and verse 16. Thus saith the Lord Yahweh, stand ye in the ways, and see, and ask for the old paths. Where is the good way? And walk therein, and ye shall find rest for your souls. But they said, we will not walk therein.
So let me show you why I brought out this precept. Because what's funny about New York, if you see all the new music that was coming out, all this trash, like jacking up your mind mentality and killing and sodomy and all of that BS and ghetto thugs and all of that, what do you call it, like homosexuality and flamboyant and Pride Month and all of that stuff. All right, let them know Black Thought, the Wu-Tang Clan. Right? You had RZA, right? You had Method Man, right? You had the classics, you had DMX and all of this stuff. Like the old rappers, they came with a certain mentality, right? Even Tribe Called Quest. These rappers during those times, they were speaking about empowerment with the people, right? They were speaking about empowering the people. They were speaking about going against the oppressor, not killing your brothers and your sisters, not abusing your wives and your women and all of that stuff, taking care of your children. The old rappers, that's what they was rapping about, Con. They wasn't rapping about guns and killing and stabbing and all of that stuff and drugs and destroying their own community. Nah, that's what they wasn't rapping about. Esau came in and switched the ways that people was rapping during those times to switch the message to destroy the nation of our people. Like it said in Exodus chapter 1, let us deal wisely with them. That was crafty counsel. They changed the power of music to destroy our people. When back in those times, our people was singing raps and songs and music, love songs and all of that for our people to embrace our people, to empower our people as a nation. God?
And Salakia, Cap, you know what's crazy? You brought up DMX. As soon as DMX came to camp in Atlanta and stopped and talked to the brothers, came to seek old paths, you know what I'm saying? Was putting some of the teachings into his music, they killed him.
They killed him. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, because DMX got that song, Lord, Give Me a Sign.
Right.
I know what he said, Lord, give me a sign. I never really talked to you, Lord, but the last time we talked, the walk has been hard. Right?
Right.
Said, in the name of, devil, I rebuke you, because all the things that I go through, and I know the Lord is with me, so I stand right here. And as long as the Lord is in my life, I will have no fear. Right? That was in that song. Like DMX was battling demons and spirits and all of that in the music industry. He had this one Def Jam poetry he was bringing out. He was exposed in the industry. And it's funny, what was it? I think it was game number. It was one of the home games that the Knicks played and that they lost. They was playing like in halftime, like Justin Bieber and all of this. Niggas like, what the hell you doing, man? Get the hell out of here. I was playing some damn new age, like, some LGBT type, flamboyant type of song. The fan like, come on, bro, we don't rock like that. Once they came with the Wu-Tang, that whole energy shifted. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Like Method Man said, I came to bring the pain, hardcore me, rolling around the astral plane. Like the whole energy shifted. It was more of a go back to the days of old, how you did things before, and it wasn't broke. Don't fix it. It worked. More of a gritty, more of an endurance type mentality, more of a staying healthy, working out. Knowledge is power, right? They had the Timbs out. You know what I'm saying? God. They didn't have no damn tight ass jeans and tight ass pants to wear, looking like you walking around, people could see your damn behind and your damn private parts and all of that.
Right.
You know? It was more like a rough, gritty style, but it was more respected, and it also came with knowledge and power and strength. You know? But now you see, like, and plus, man, we always joke around, but we find a way to work out and all of that. to stay healthy, stay on point. You got to take care of your vessel. Don't you know that you are the vessel of God, of the Holy Spirit, like in 1 Corinthians chapter 3, verse number 16? Right? Take care of your mind, body, and your spirit. Like that was part of the mentality that New York had back in those times. I'm talking about the positive, not the negatives. Okay?
Right.
So Lord said, remember the days of old. Same as with us as nation of Israel. We got to remember our forefathers in those times, how they move in righteousness, strong, discipline, right? Kept the laws and the commandments, right? We didn't follow the ways of everybody else as a nation. No, they was forced to adapt to us. Huh? Like in Deuteronomy, it speaks about it. The nation's gonna be looking at us. What type of nation is of this with so much wisdom and laws and commandments and love by the Lord God? Even Bathsheba, when Bathsheba went to visit King Solomon, she didn't push her nation's mentality or her nation's culture on Solomon, right? She seen Solomon as an Israelite, as a king, and she was in awe. How righteous he looked, how mighty his kingdom was, how beautiful it looked, how majestic the people looked. And that ties into us as a nation with our customs. Because I'm gonna give you a quick testimony. We was doing a real estate class, right? Me and the brothers, Black being and the brothers, right? And for 3 days, we came into that class, shirt with fringes, our mitris, ZZs, came with our books, taking notes and all of that stuff. Did you know for 3 straight days, everybody was looking at us, asking us so many questions? Like, oh my God, like, what is this? This is so beautiful. Oh my God, like, where did you get this from? They was talking about the ZZs, the mitris, the fringes, and how we dressed. God? And they was looking like, wow, like, yeah, the one Edomite literally came to us and like, yo, listen, I'm sorry, I gotta tell you, man. I just gotta tell y'all. I said, well, what the hell? Hopefully you ain't saying no weird stuff. She's like, listen, you want to talk about best dress competition? Y'all won all 3 days. Yeah. And that's what us just moving around as a nation of Israel and having love and compassion for our people and for our nation and for our customs and heritage by wearing our garments and our fringes and not adapting to anybody else, but they're forced to adapt to us and not be ashamed of our culture. You want to say something?
And just keeping the commandments.
And just keeping the commandments.
That's it. You keeping the commandments, and the other nations look and they see like, dang, man, even today when I went to my daughter's graduation, like, I was wearing a garment with fringes on it, and you know what I'm saying? I wore like a long garment, and people was just looking, you know what I'm saying? They was just looking. And like dang, and I'm the only one in there with fringes on, you know what I'm saying? And I could tell they was looking like, yo, what is that? One of those guys right there? You know what I'm saying? And it's just like all praise to the Most High, because just simple little things that we do, keeping the commandments. Like we went to IHOP to eat. And I told my son and my daughter, I was like, they was like, oh, I want to order, whatever, pancakes with bacon and eggs. And I was like, it's going to be turkey bacon, right? And they both looked at me and just gave me up like, all right, dad is around right now. You know what I'm saying? We got to keep the commandments. And you know what I'm saying? It's simple little things the Most High told us to do, which makes what it says in Deuteronomy chapter 4, like you brought up, that the other nations will see and say, who is this wise and understanding people? And that's what's going to happen when we get into the kingdom, and Yahweh and Yahweh Shai writes the word and writes the laws, statutes, and commandments on the tablet of our heart. Then they really gonna be like, dang,
forget it.
Can't mess with it. We gonna get strength like David. That verse always wakes me up, because it's like the feeble among us. That means the people that the elders, like older. I don't just mean elders, like, from a teaching standpoint, but the older people that are in that make it into the kingdom, they're gonna have strength like David. You know what I'm saying? Like, dag, you know what I mean?
So the least among us, the least.
You know what I mean? They able to slay a giant with a sling, bend a steel bow, and that's gonna be the older people. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's all on point, Cap. You on point. All praise to the Most High.
Hey, our part. Let's get the next video the third video is in the playlist. That's the one that's 2 minutes and 56 seconds. And let me get Proverbs chapter 22 and verse number 1.
Con.
Yeah.
You want me before the video or after the video?
Hold that. And let's
Okay.
play the video first. Hold on, because I want to show you. This is the video right here, right? I'm gonna show y'all how important it is to have a father in the household as well, too, right? For us as Israelite men, how important it is to take care of our children and also to instill into them the laws and the commandments of God at a young age, right? Don't try to adapt to the ways of this wicked ass world. They gotta adapt to us. God, they gotta adapt to the laws and the commandments of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua. The Lord said, "Be steadfast, unmovable, always abounding in the work of the Lord." Wisdom of Solomon 5:1. Then shall a righteous man stand in great boldness against those that have afflicted him and made no accounts of his labor. Right? We are keeping the laws and the commandments. We're moving in the spirit of righteousness, humble, integrity, discipline, love, and compassion, the fruits of the spirit as a nation of Israel. No, hell no. The wicked gonna have to submit to us. God? Right? Yeah, let's play that video, Ak.
Every time I come out here, I tell you to tie your shoe. It was all mental. He was just trying to see where I was mentally, and then he pushed me and pushed me. And where do you stop? Go. Come on, Jay. Here we go. Okay. Where does he go? Let's go right here. Full speed. Left hand now. Crossover finish to the right. Good touch, Jay. Come on. The mental part of it was huge for me because I didn't really think about it until I got older. I was like, half the stuff I'm doing now is easy. Yeah, because it's doing it. It's gonna be full speed. Good. Change direction on the break. 1-on-1. Go. Ginobili. Go. Too small, too slow. He's heard all that. But like I keep saying to people, he's one of 8 people in the history of Illinois that won over 100 games in high school. He's won over 100 games in college. He won 2 gold medals. So at the end of the day, you keep doubting him, he's winning. Bring back son. Back. One more. Brunson drives, fouls, shot is up. Jalen Brunson with another answer. Talk about the journey you've been on and how it has reached this point now where you're on the garden floor hearing MVP chants and you're going to the All-Star game. I mean, he always used to ask me, is this what you want to do for a living? So no matter what mood I was in, the answer was always yes. When did he start asking me that? I was like 7th grade. He always used to say, if a teacher gave you a study guide for a test, you'd take the study guide, you prepare, you take the test. Well, I'm the study guide. I have taken the test. You can listen to me or not.
God. Let me get Proverbs 22 and verse number 6, Ak. Ak, you see how all of this correlates to the scriptures? With the father training
You want
him.
verse 1 or verse 6?
Proverbs 22 and verse number 1, Slakia. But you see how all of this correlates with this verse 6. You see how all this correlates with the scriptures? The father kept engraving in him, right? Like the basics, the mentality, right? From a young age. It wasn't about the physical, about the mental. Push through it. Keep going. When do I stop? When I tell you to stop. That's the Lord. Huh? It's like saying with Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. A lot of times you feel like you can't do certain things and you're depressed and you're like, damn, discouraged and all of that. The Lord like, nah, keep going. I got you. He ain't gonna give you too much you can't handle. And a lot of times, remember, Jeremiah 1:5, before I formed thee in the belly, I knew thee, and I ordained thee as a prophet unto the nation. Right? And Jeremiah, as a young child, he didn't know what to do. He was scared. The Lord told him to go and teach to the nation of Israel. He was scared. He's like, I'm small, I'm young. Lord said, I don't give a damn. I know how I made you. I know how I created you. Right? This part of your purpose. Like the father asked him, what do you want to do? He said he want to do this for the rest of his life. He accomplished his purpose as an NBA basketball player. But remember, this is of the world. This not of the truth. It's not of us who, if we endure unto the end, part of our purpose is as what? To be the people as bringing the people back to the light. Those that's in darkness, back to the light of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, and also enduring for the crown in the kingdom of heaven. Khan? And he kept emphasizing mentality. It was about the mentality. Right? Let me get Proverbs 22 and verse number 6.
Khan. This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 22 and verse 6. Train up a child in the way he should go, and when he is old, he will not depart from it.
And didn't he just say that? I've been doing this so much when I was young, I didn't realize when I got older, it became natural.
Khan.
You see what I'm saying? It's same as with us. Like the Lord said, train up a child in the way he shall go. Psalm 78 and verse 5, it says what? Teach your children, and they'll teach their children's children the laws and the commandments of God. When they get older, it's going to be like natural. The Sabbath. You got Israelites being born right now in these times. Kids, beautiful kids right now that never ate pork.
Khan.
As a child, chance because you came into the truth like 30 or 40 years old, or 20 or whatever. But now the Lord gave you a second chance. God? And like Sirach chapter 30, where the Lord speaks about a father with a son, when he trained up his son, he goes against what? He's trained up his son to be an avenger against his enemy. Same as with us. The Lord is training us up at a young age, spiritually right now, so we can get the laws and the commandments of God, so we can be strengthened as a nation, and it's going to help destroy the other nations, especially the Edomites and the enemies of God. The more we love each other, the more they're being destroyed. Look how simple that is. And what is love? John 14 and 15, keeping the laws and the commandments of God. Having love towards your neighbor, towards your people, preferring one another, right? But you got to train up your child when they're young and instill that law into them. And that's what was instilled into Jalen Brunson, mentality. Because the father already knew he was going to be short. So he's like, look, I'm going to instill that mentality into him. Like a lion, Proverbs 30 and 30, the lion which is strongest among beasts. Turn back from nobody. He takes on all challenges. Why? Because he believes he's the king because of his mentality. God? I don't part. Let me get the next video because we're going to close out at 9:30 Eastern. Let me get the next video. Let me get the one with facing the giants. It's not about the size of the dog in the fight, right? Or the size of the lion in the fight. It's about the size of, it's not about the size of the lion in the fight. It's about the size of the fight in the lion, right? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, let me get that. Let me get the next one, facing the giants. This is a good one too as well. That's 5 minutes and 37 seconds. The death crawl scene, right? So this video is powerful right here. When y'all get a chance to watch it, a lot of us as the nation of Israel, we lack confidence. We have a lot of doubt. We don't believe we could do certain things. And remember, the Lord said in John chapter 15 verse 16, you haven't chosen me, I have chose you. Right? I have brought you out of the world of darkness into this marvelous light to bring forth fruit. I have instilled into you power and strength and the spirit to overcome all things. And we doubt a lot of times when it comes to the Lord because certain circumstance that we're in trials and tribulation. But with that spiritual mental fortitude to keep pushing, enduring into the end, we're going to overcome more things and be consistent and accomplish these things in these times. But we got to have faith and belief in Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. Yeah, you can play that video when you get a chance, King. It's called Facing the Giants.
Imagine using your skills.
Uh,
So, Coach. Come here, bro. You too, Jeremy. What, am I in trouble now? Not yet. I want to see you do the death crawl again, except I want to see your absolute best. What? What, am I in trouble now? Not yet. I want to see you do the death. I can go to the fifth if nobody.
yeah, you can play it, King. Yeah, Con, we good, we good.
But even if you can, I want you to promise me you're going to do your best. All right. Your best. Okay. You going to do your best? I'm going to give you my best. All right, one more thing. I want you to do it blindfolded. Why? Because I want you giving up at a certain point when you can go further. Get down. Jeremy, get on his back. I get a good tight hold, Jeremy. All right.
Yeah, pause that real quick, Doc.
Keep your knees off the ground. Just your hands and feet.
Right? So he told him, I want you to give me your best, right? And he said, all right, I'm gonna do my best. He said, okay. He said, I want you to do it blindfolded, though. He like, hold on, wait a minute. Why? Remember, in Hebrews chapter 11, the Lord said we walk by what? We walk by faith, not by sight. Faith is the substance of things that's hoped for, but not seen. God? A lot of times, when you see things with your physical eyes, what happens? You get distracted. You're looking at the height of a person, and you're like, oh, they're mighty physically and all that stuff like a damn giant. But what happens now? When you close your eyes, you're not looking at the physical, you're thinking about the spiritual. You're too easily distracted by what's in front of you. So what happens? You got to lock in. You got to cancel all the noise, all the distractions, and stay focused. Right? You can play it, King. Yeah, you can play the video, the Water King.
A little bit left. There you go. Show me good effort. That way, Brock. You keep coming. There you go. It's a good start. A little bit left. A little bit left. There you go, Brock. Good strength. That's it, Brock. That's it. Not the 20 yet. Forget the 20. You give me your best. You keep going. That's it. Now, don't stop, Brock. You got more in you than that. Hey, just rest in a second. You got to keep moving. Let's keep moving. Let's go. Don't quit until you got nothing left. There you go. Keep moving. Keep moving. Keep moving, Brock. That's it. You keep driving. Keep your knees off the ground. Keep driving it. Your very best. Your very best. Your very best. Keep moving, Brock. That's it. That's it. That's it. Keep going. Don't quit on me. Keep going. Keep driving. Keep your knees off the ground. That's it. Your very best. Don't quit on me. Your very best. Keep driving. Keep driving. There you go. There you go. That's it. You keep driving. Keep your knees off the ground. Keep driving it. Don't quit till you got nothing left. Keep moving, Brock. That's it. That's it. That's it. Keep going. I want everything you got. Come on, keep going. It hurts. Don't quit on me. Your very best. Keep driving. Keep driving. There you go. There you go. He's heavy. I know he's heavy. I'm bad strength. And you negotiate with your body to find more strength, but don't you give up on me, Brock. You keep going. You hear me? You keep going. You're doing good. You keep going. Do not quit on me. You keep going. It hurts. I know it hurts. You keep going. You keep going. It's all hard from here. 30 more steps. You keep going, Brock. Come on. Keep going. Burn. And let it burn. Burn. It's all hard. You keep going, Brock. Come on. Come on. Keep going. You got to make your back. Your back. Don't stop. Keep going. It's not too hard. You keep going. Come on, Brock. Give me more. Give me more. Keep going.
20 more steps. 20 more. Keep going. Give me a back. Don't quit. Don't quit. God damn you, don't quit. Keep going. Keep going. Don't quit, Kelly. You don't quit on me. You keep going. You keep going. 10 more steps. 10 more. 10 more. 10 more. Keep going. Don't quit. Give me your heart. You can. You can. 5 more. 5 more. Don't quit. Don't quit. Let's go to 50. Oh, hang on. Look at Brock. You're in the end zone. Brock, you are the most influential player on this team. If you walk around defeated so well, don't tell me you can't give me more than what I've been seeing. You just carried a 140-pound man across this whole field in your arms. Brock, I need you. God's gifted you with the ability of leadership. Don't waste it. Coach, can I count on you? Yes. Coach? What is it, Jeremy? I wear 160.
Yeah, you can stop that video, Ak. Good. Ak, let me get Sirach chapter 2, man. You see in this video, he was doubted in the beginning, right? But the coach seen something in him that he didn't see himself. Con? Yeah, Sirach chapter 2 and verse number 2. The coach sees something in the brother that he didn't see him in himself. Same as how the Lord see things in us that we don't see, we don't believe. Right? The Lord gave us all the gifts, all the talents, but we lack confidence. And sometimes you just got to step back and lock in and push out all the distractions. The coach already seen he had the capability, but the guy didn't believe until the coach put him in a position to where he had to bring out everything out of him. Right? He had to show him what he was made of. And he kept pushing. That bear crawl is not easy. We do it in Detroit. Uncle Penuel in Chicago. That joint is not easy. Uncle Penuel make it look easy too. It's crazy. Right? And he bear crawled across the whole entire damn football field. Overextended what he thought he was capable of, and what happened now? When he was about to fall, he's about to give up, the coach kept telling him, hey, keep pushing, keep going. You got more than that. That's like how about Shemya was shy. That's like they speaking to you and telling you to keep pushing, endure. Con, don't quit. Even with people that have in camps and you have leaderships in your camp, they're going to keep pushing you to become better because they know you're capable of it. You can do it. Con? And the mentality that Jalen Brunson Pops installed in him, that's the mentality that the Knicks team had, especially this year. No matter what, keep pushing. Keep pushing. Stay focused. Right? Right? Don't worry about that. Stay focused. We can learn a lot from that as the nation of Israel. There's so much we can give to the. Bring what you got, Ak. Sirach 2 and 2.
The book of Sirach, chapter 2 and verse 2. Set thy heart aright and constantly endure, and make not haste in the time of calamity.
Read on.
Cleave unto him and depart not, that thou mayest be increased at thy latter end.
Right. It said constantly endure. That's what he had to do. He had to endure. Right? That's like we telling y'all, let's keep enduring. Whatever trials and tribulation the Lord put us through is a test so we could get stronger. We got to overcome it and endure. Don't quit. Read on.
accept whatsoever is brought upon thee, and be long suffering when thou passest into humiliation.
Right. You see? And what version is that, King?
This is the 1895 version.
Khan. So check this. It also says what? Whatever is brought upon thee, take cheerfully and be patient when thou art changed to a lower state. For gold is tried in a fire, and acceptable men in the furnace of adversity. Believe in him, and he will help thee order thy way aright, and trust in him. Khan? That's about enduring. You're being tested. You're being tried through that fire. That's what happened with the brother in the video. He was trying to give up, and the coach kept pushing. Nah, go through that fire. Keep going. Don't stop. Don't quit. Right? All right, I'm please some quick ones. I know you got to go. Let me get Jalen Brunson Finals MVP Day versus Goliath. That's the second video. There. Constantly endure, Israel. All right, let's get that. All right, you can start it, Kim. God. From the beginning.
Winning their first championship in like 3 years. And then, but this is a message to the youth, man. And to all the youngers out there, man, that get on the football field, on the baseball field, on the basketball court, on the track, whatever, man. This is to you. If you watch what Jalen Brunson displayed in the NBA Finals, man, being the smallest person on the court, man, and dominated, man, had his presence felt, left his footprint up and down the court, had the biggest impact during the whole series, man, and went up against a giant, literally a giant, and Victor Wembanyama, man, who standing at 7'4", when he raised his arm, man, he probably close to 8 foot tall, man. So anybody kid out there, man, that thinking like they too small, it ain't about how small you is, about that right there. It's about what's inside your chest, your heart, your mentality. And, man, I'm so proud of Jalen Brunson, man, for displaying that in front of the world, man. You know, there's a lot of kids out here who get discouraged and get nervous and get afraid when they get ready to compete, when they see kids bigger than them. It ain't about that. It's about, do you got the mentality? Are you a dog? Do you got want to? Are you tough? Are you resilient? And Jalen Brunson displayed all those things, man, during this whole finals run. And he showed a mentality that all kids need, whether you big, tall, small. You know what I'm saying? It's a beautiful thing to see, man. And it's just a message to the youth, man, dog. It don't matter your size, dog. You just gotta be a killer. You gotta be a dog. You gotta have a mentality, man, that you won't be denied, man. Hey, man, shout out to the New York Knicks, man. Appreciate all the support.
God. Now let me get the last one, the 13-second video, King. And I got the rest. The last one. Because we're gonna touch on that as well. Me and y'all was out. Let me get the last one. Because I'm gonna show y'all. In this video, they kept trying to bully him. Right? They try to get him out of his game. They try to bully him. Why? Because they was like, we can get him out of his game, right? And push him around and injure him and all of that stuff. He's gonna back down. Because they was looking at his size. But they didn't understand how mighty his mentality was. Because he was trained like that since he was young. It wasn't about the size. It was about the mentality and the heart. Khan? And remember, in the book of Ezekiel, the Lord said, I'll make your head hard against this. Right? And this video right here, what happened? Let me show y'all this real quick. And then I won't probably look. You can play that, yeah. Khan, you can play it out. Let me see.
Just trying to push him away.
Khan, the water king. Khan. Yeah, that's it on the videos. In that video, it showed you they was trying to headbutt him and all of this stuff. He was right near the Spurs bench. They was trying to intimidate him because of his size. Right? They thought because it was bigger than him and taller than him and more muscles than him and all of that. They had the numbers around him, but he wasn't backing down at all. Right? Y'all what's up? Let me get 2 Timothy chapter 1 and verse number 7. All right.
Salaki, I didn't hear you, Cap. You said first Maccabees?
2 Timothy chapter 1 and verse number 7.
Salaki, 2 Timothy.
Okay.
Verse 7. It's the book of 2 Timothy chapter 1 and verse 7. For Yahweh gave us not a spirit of fearfulness, but of power and love and of sound mind.
Right. So the Lord gave us the spirit of power and of love and of a sound mind. Right. The two things I'm going to use for that situation is of a sound mind and of power. Right. In the midst of, pressure, as they would say, where everything is on the line, the game is on the line and all of that stuff. He's fighting against the home crowd in San Antonio with the Spurs and all of that stuff. Right. He had to have a sound mind because throughout this series, the Knicks kept coming back. And it's crazy. Like a Knicks fan ain't used to that, bro. It's the opposite.
Right.
All right. They be up 3 quarters and we like, oh, we got it in the bag. And then the 4th quarter come, you go to sleep, you wake up the next morning, they was up 30 points and then they got blown out by 60 points. You're like, what the hell is this?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
God.
It was the total opposite. We got used to that. It wasn't you down by 3 quarters and then you end up winning the game by 10 points or 20 or 1 point, whatever. But it tied into mentality, right? Working together as a team, staying focused together as a team. And that's what was crazy about this team for this year, especially, right? And he said he gave us the spirit of power and of love and of a sound mind. And the thing about this team, like I said, we can learn from more things. The thing about this team is that they have love towards each other and towards one another.
Right.
They actually cared about each other. And guess what? Jalen Brunson and I think it was Mikal Bridges and Josh Hart, they used to be teammates in college for Villanova, right? And guess what? Those 3 stuck together. And what happened now? They ended up being on the same Knicks team. And guess what? They won the championship together as a team. Okay?
Right.
What you were saying?
No, I said right. They won 2 twice in college.
Yeah.
And then then they won this one too.
Mm-hmm. Let me get Ecclesiastes chapter 4 and verse number 8.
It's the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 4 and verse number 8. There is one that is alone, and he hath not a second. Yea, he hath neither son nor brother. Yet is there no end of all his labor, neither are his eyes satisfied with riches. For whom then saith he, do I labor, and deprive my soul of good? This also is vanity. Yea, it is a sore travail.
So I'm going to use this precept for an example with a player named Carmelo Anthony, right? Carmelo Anthony was used to doing everything by himself, right? And he was more of a scorer. And, he was a scorer, but he could also play.
Right.
He just like scoring and, big name superstars and all of that. But how Carmelo could play defense? How you think, Ak? How you know Carmelo could play defense?
Well, he was good at defense, but he made it all the way to the NBA. That's one way you could tell. But he was good on D as well.
God, there was 2 times I've seen Ak. The man played top 5 defense throughout the league, locking dudes down, right? The number one example, whenever he played LeBron James. Whenever he played LeBron James, now the nigga could play defense. You know what I'm saying? And he was locking them down. And you know why? Because the matchup that they had was like a mano-a-mano type of matchup. Right? So Carmelo could score, but he could also play defense, but he refused to play defense on certain things. He left it to everybody else. But as a superstar, you got to lead by example. Right? Michael Jordan led by example. Right? So with Carmelo, it was more of a, I'm going to do things my own way and all of that stuff. Right? But with Jalen Brunson, it was different because even though he's the shortest, he led by example. Right? Read on.
two are better than one, because they have a good reward for their labor.
Read on.
For if they fall, the one will lift up his fellow. But woe to him that is alone, when he falleth and hath not another to lift him up.
Right. So you see, when you're by yourself, you have nobody to pick you up. Right. But when you're moving as a team and you have love and compassion and y'all truly love each other and y'all know how to, stick together and roll together as a squad, right? And make sacrifices. It makes the win even much better. Khan? Jump to verse number Slack here. Jump to verse number 12.
Khan. Verse number 12. The book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 4, and verse number 12. And if a man prevail against him that is alone, two shall withstand him, and a threefold cord is not easily broken.
Right. So all throughout the season, a lot of people kept doubting Jalen Brunson and the Knicks and kept saying like they ain't gonna do this, they ain't gonna do that. He's too short, right? He can't score his points and all of that stuff. But he was a man of sacrifice. Why? Because guess what? He won the championship in college with two of his best friends, which was Josh Hart and the other one was who? Mikal Bridges, right?
Yeah, Bridges, right.
Right. And Villanova. So that was three of them. Like the scripture says, a threefold cord can't be broken. Now, what do I mean by sacrifice? Did you know this man literally gave up $100 million to keep the team together?
Right.
You see what I'm saying? That's like with Israel. Like with Israel as a nation, a lot of times you might think, hey, the grass is always greener on the other side. And you'll leave your respective camp or body or leave whatever you're doing that's growing and increasing. And you go to somebody else. And what happens now? It ain't the same. The spirit is not the same. Right? The love is not there. The compassion is not there. The working together as a team is not there. People are selfish. They're about themselves, narcissistic, prideful, egotistical, right? And example like Carmelo. Carmelo even I had the video showing up later on, but we'll do that next time. Carmelo, it was in a video. They was comparing him with Jalen Brunson, and Jalen Brunson said he gave up $100 million to keep the core, the team together, because they love playing with each other. They love playing together as a team. And they respect each other, right? You know what Carmelo said, Ak? He said, "Nah, I ain't doing that." He said, "I'm taking that $100 million."
That's true.
You see what I'm saying? And that's the difference between an I, there's between an I and a we, right? Where teamwork makes the dream work, and a person that's all for themselves. And that's what us as a nation of Israel, with us working together as a team, we got to learn to sacrifice for the betterment of the body and for the nation. Khan? And he literally gave up $100 million to keep the team together. And what happened? They start to build that camaraderie. They start to trust each other even more. Imagine, Ak, you get to the kingdom of heaven and your friends is there, your best friends, right? And y'all all work together to get there. Your loved ones and your family, everybody got there together. Hey, ain't it gonna be worth it even more? You're gonna appreciate it even more and celebrate even more, right? Then you just get in there by yourself. You know what I'm saying? Look at LeBron. When LeBron won that chip in Miami, it was all right. Part of the reason it was good because he won it with his best friend D Wade. But it wasn't the same as when he won it with the Cavs.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? It meant more. Right? And that's the same thing with us as a nation. You can go ahead. You want to go and join these other nations and all of that stuff and follow the ways of the heathens and East. All right, go ahead. Go ahead. You want to prosper in this wicked ass kingdom, with your oppressors, but not with your people. I'd rather prosper my people and suffer my people so we could prosper together like Moses in the book of Hebrews chapter 11. Moses made a sacrifice. Let's get that real quick out. Let's get Hebrews chapter 11, verse number 23. Moses made a sacrifice to suffer with his people because of the glory of the riches that was to come, which was the kingdom. Right?
The book of Hebrews, chapter 11
And
and
verse number 23.
verse 23. By faith, Moses, when he was born, was hid 3 months by his parents, because they saw he was a goodly child, and they were not afraid of the king's commandment.
Right, read on.
And by faith, Moses, when he was grown up, refused to be called the son of Pharaoh's daughter, choosing rather, Salakia.
God.
Let me get the KJV on it.
All right.
Yeah, Salakia. No, I was switching back to the KJV because it reads it better.
You got it, King. The water.
Picking up at verse 25. Choosing rather to suffer affliction with the people of Yahweh than to enjoy the pleasures of sin for a season.
You see that? Moses sacrificed to suffer with his people rather than team up and enjoy the ways of Egypt with the Pharaoh and the Egyptians, who wasn't his people. Khan? Read on.
Esteeming the reproach of Yahweh Shai greater riches than the treasures of Egypt, for he had respect unto the recompense of the reward.
You see? And that's like we saying, we use that with like a sport analogy, and I'm telling you, these times compared to the old times is different, right? Even in sports. Because back in those times, the players would be loyal to their team and to their city, and they would keep enduring and keep playing until they won that championship for their city. God? Now, in these times, everybody's more of a change with this team. I'm going to team up with this guy, that guy, here and there, this and that. But the person that won that chip for their team and for their city, it meant so much more, and it was more loved and respected by their own citizens than the person that was hopping around to other teams. Right? Like, for example, Michael Jordan and LeBron James to this day, one of the things people are always going to argue about it, they're going to say Michael Jordan won all them rings with the Bulls. You know what I'm saying? He was there through the tough times. He kept enduring. Every year, he almost got it. Every year, they had to go through the Pistons. Every year, they kept losing, but it built character and fortitude, right? And once he finally got that first one, once he got over that hump, boy, it was a wrap, man. You know? And it's like with us as the nation of Israel as well, too. It's better we go through these trials and tribulations and the curses that we're going through as a people, as a nation, right? We're going through this and we got to suffer together as a people. We got to go through it. But family, as we endure for the return of Yahweh Shai, we endure in this truth and keep the laws and the commandments, have love and compassion for each other, work together as a team. When the Lord blesses with the kingdom, we going to love and appreciate it so much more.
Right.
It's going to be worth so much more. Because we didn't just quit. We didn't just leave out the truth and go back into the world. Right? Right now, everybody's laughing at us in a way. People still waking up to realizing we're the Israelites and all of that stuff. But majority of the world is still laughing at us, disrespecting us. Don't give a crap about us, making mockery of us. Right? But what's happening as we keep staying focused, keep pushing? Truth, the word, the edification. Slowly but surely, our people are starting to wake up, starting to repent, starting to see the wicked.
Salakia, Cap. Hello?
Of this wicked society. Shalom, can you hear me?
Yeah, my phone was going in and out too. I was gonna say Salakia. Also, people camp hopping, don't have, trying to run around and find different doctrines and find who's the best teacher in all of Israel with the most breakdowns, and they know every precept in the world. And the next thing you know, they get their heart broken when their favorite teacher ends up being a sham and a shiesty scam artist. You know what I'm saying? And that's happened multiple times. So we're not even talking about the recent situation with you know, with the different camps. That's happened a lot. People camp hopping and moving around and trying to find itching ears with the doctrine, so they run to this camp because that camp is teaching what they want to hear, versus stop trying. You know, all of Israel needs to do that, to stop doing that. All of Israel needs to stop running around from place to place to place, to teacher to teacher to teacher, to camp to camp to camp, just because they teaching something that you want to hear for the day, or they teaching something that makes you feel good or makes you feel like you're right. Stick to the truth and stick to what the scriptures say. Thus saith the Bible, thus saith the Holy Lord, the Holy Bible, thus saith the Lord. Not run back and forth with itching ears, trying to being turned by every wind of doctrine.
God, beautiful point, King. Right? Let me get Proverbs chapter 3 and verse number 5. We got a couple of more, then we'll close out in 10 minutes. All right?
God, the book of Proverbs, Salakia, Proverbs chapter 3 and verse 5. Right? The book of Proverbs chapter 3 and verse 5. Trust in the Lord with all thine heart, and lean not unto thine own understanding.
Right. So this ties into it, same as with a coach on the team. He's giving you the plays because he see things a certain ways that you don't see it, right? Same as with the Lord. The Lord see 10 steps ahead. It's certain place he got set up for you that you don't see, but you got to trust in him. Why? Because he understands it's for the betterment of the team. Same as with Yahushua, right? And that ties into faith and believing. Look what happened with Joseph. He never thought that he would get sold by his brothers, get thrown in prison in Egypt, right? People lied on him and all of this stuff. Potiphar's wife tried to molest him and everything. He kept his integrity, kept enduring while he was locked up in prison. And then the Lord showed him that dream, 7 years of the famine coming. He told the Pharaoh what was going on. And then what happened? The Pharaoh, because Joseph broke down his dream, the Pharaoh rose him up. Make not haste in a time of trouble, but endure, constantly endure. Because what? The Lord going to raise up his state. That's what he did for Joseph.
Right.
But he never imagined that would happen. The Lord didn't give him the step-by-step play like he did with Moses, with the plagues. But Joseph had faith. And next thing he became the second in command of Egypt. And later on, his position was used to help his own people later on when the famine came. God? So a coach, the same as like Yahweh Shemel Shai, they're setting you up in a position to win. But it might not look like you're winning now. Right? But you still got to have faith. You still got to believe and endure. Because everything's going to work out according to the plans of the Lord. You got to believe the Lord's not going to lead you astray into wickedness or destruction. Same as a coach. They're not trying to set a place for you to fail. They want you to succeed. God? So what you call it? So from that point, what happens now? From a person's mentality, how they deal with certain situations, right? Sacrifice, leadership. Even with the sacrifice, giving up 100 million, right? The riches of this world for the treasures of God, the treasures of heaven, right? Leadership, leadership mentality, not being a hypocrite, but leading by example. Even though he was the shortest on the team, he was their leader and their captain, but he led by example, right? It wasn't about who's the biggest and all of this stuff. Nah, he led by example. That's what we got to do as a nation. God? God. Let me get the next one because I want to show you as well. Throughout this series, people was talking about the David and Goliath analogy. Like y'all brought out earlier. Wembanyama was like 7'8", whatever. Jalen Brunson like 6 feet or whatever and all of that stuff. So Wembanyama was cocky. The Spurs were cocky. You know what's crazy, y'all? What's up? You know what's crazy, King? This Spurs team was the opposite of all the previous Spurs team. Right. Their mentality. The Spurs is more calm, cool, collected, you know, even kill and all of that stuff. But this Spurs team was like cocky, proud, boastful, right? Right. And the mentality of their best player is the mentality that
They wasn't humble at all. The game
went beyond a 7 foot.
Right. And they came out saying, "Oh, we got the next
Frenchman."
Right.
Right. They wasn't humbled at all. And that's not like the previous Spurs team. And the same thing with the Knicks, because the previous Knicks teams that we've all watched throughout the years, they was boastful, they was cocky, they was proud and all of that. They loved the limelight and all of this stuff. This is the first team I've seen. Everybody kept their head down, stay focused, right? Kept to themselves. It wasn't no HOI, disrespect to other teams, whatever, this and that. They all came together as a team and they kept to themselves and they kept humble. Right. And they get that mentality from who? From their leader. And funny, we could talk about that even with us personally, testimony HOI. You already know when it comes to Elder Zabak, he don't deal with all the folly and all of that stuff with the nation. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Mind his business, stay humble, keep his head down, keep the work going, staying consistent. And we as a people, that mentality he has, the mentality that we keep and try to project amongst our people throughout the brothers and sisters of the nation of Israel. Stay humble, stay diligent, stay consistent. Instead of coming at our people with hate, try to come at them with compassion and mercy and love. Even if they hate your damn guts. Like with David. When he came at Saul, Saul tried to kill him multiple times. David came at him with mercy and compassion. And the Lord told Saul, I'm going to raise up a man that's 10 times better than you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And that ties in with this series. It was a David and Goliath type of series as well. Right? And with the Knicks, they went back to that old school mentality. Work hard, work as a team, endure. Fight for everything. That was the mentality. That's what we got to have as a nation of Israel. We got to be a people that endure until the end. Let me get 1 Samuel, King. 16. Let me see. Because I want to go back to with David and Goliath. Matter of fact, let's jump to 1 Samuel 17. Let's go to that one. Let's go straight to the point. All right. So let's go to 1 Samuel 17 and let's go to verse number 23.
The book of 1 Samuel, chapter 17, and verse 23. And it reads, And as he talked with them, behold, there came up the champion, the Philistine of Gath, Goliath by name, out of the armies of the Philistines, and spake according to the same words. And David heard them. And all the men of Israel, when they saw the man, fled from him, and were sore afraid. And the men of Israel said, Have ye seen this man that is come up? God. Surely to defy Israel is he come up, and it shall be, and that the man who killeth him, the king, will enrich him with great riches, and will give him his daughter, and make his father's house free in Israel. And David spake to the men that stood by him, saying, What shall be done to the man that killeth this Philistine, and taketh away the reproach from Israel?
And take away the what?
And take away the reproach from Israel.
Ain't that what happened with the Knicks? The reproach on us? The shame that was on us? To where brothers they even want to mention they were Knicks fans. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And it was like, damn, who the hell you seen this nigga? You seen Goliath? Who gonna beat that?
Right.
That's like you playing against a superstar team, an all-star team. Like who gonna beat that, man? You know what I'm saying? And everybody was scared. Saul was scared. The spirit of fear was on Saul. The Lord wasn't dealing with him no more.
Right.
And same thing with Wemby. Everybody looked at him as a new up and coming, the face of the league. Oh man, this is his era now.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
I don't know. I don't know if you ever seen it. They have a series on Amazon. You know, they whitewashed it and everything like
House of
that.
David is fire.
Yeah,
It's
that
fire.
scene where which we reading, because we reading that one scene that was in the movie or whatever, and that joint was mighty, man. Even though they whitewashed everything, and you know, you got to look
Nah, it's
sometimes.
fire.
Yeah, you got to
Yeah.
look past the color lines, and you know, we already understand the truth, so we know what the truth is. So it's nothing that we should be really having to complain about when we see those type of things, because we already know what it is. We already know what Esau did. You know what I'm saying? And what Esau does, basically. So that joint right there, yo, that's fire. For anybody that
Yeah.
House of David, check that joint out, because the way that they played that part right there, where you see David come out, and he's like, "Man, who is this Philistine dog?" That's one of my
Right.
favorite parts in the scriptures, where David come out and he just shut Goliath down. You know, this dang on Philistine dog, man. Y'all out here acting like y'all scared of this cat. We the name of the Lord. You know what I'm saying? The God of the armies of heaven. You know what I'm saying? So that's one of my favorite joints right there, man. In the all that you read that, you ain't in the truth if you don't read that and it don't get you hyped up, because that joint got to get you hyped up when you read it. Like,
yeah, that part was fire, because he was cursing everybody out. He like, hold on, man, y'all 40 days, and remember, he was fighting against his pops, trying to get on the battlefield.
Right.
I want to go, and no, stay home. I want to stay home. And David found out for 40 days you had this Philistine talk crap, curse out the nation of Israel, and go against the Lord God.
Right.
First time on the battlefield, he came with a slingshot. He was like, yo, like what? I'll fight him.
Right. I'll take this.
You know what I'm saying?
God.
And that's why the people of the world, they're shocked and they're confused, because they're like, you're not scared to die? They know your face is all out there and all of this stuff, and you're all over the videos, all over the news and everything, right? You're not intimidated. They're going to come and get you. You're not scared. You're not scared they're going to lock you up? Nah, hell no. Because we have faith that the Lord is the one that's going to protect us.
Exactly.
So we wanted to go out to the highways and hedges and teach our people, put our life on the line, and also do what? Also rebuke the hell out of these wicked devils and expose their wickedness that they're doing throughout the world. And to wake up the eyes of our people to come back to the Lord and repent and keep the commandments. So we're sacrificing ourselves, which actually what we're doing in this battle. And you can't go to a battle with fear. Right? Now, they was looking at David in that show like, hold on, where's your shield? Where's your sword? I don't need that. I don't need that. Why? Because it was his mentality. Why was he so confident? Because he had faith and belief that Yahweh Shemel Shai was going to guide and protect him in all things. They couldn't see that. They only looked at the stature from the outside. They couldn't see the mentality that he had and the spirit that he had of the Lord behind him. Right? Read on.
For who is the uncircumcised Philistine that should defy the armies of the living God?
See that? So he's willing to take on that challenge. Same as with this team. They was fighting against the Spurs, and they were like, yo, they wasn't talking crap. They wasn't boasting. Right? They was like, nah, we gonna do our thing. You know what I'm saying? They gonna let the action speak. Right? But they was willing to take on that challenge. You know, and plus it was worth more to them, because what? They haven't won a chip in 53 years.
Right.
City in the damn drought. Everybody depressed. In New York, what's the attitude of the people in New York right now?
Yo, everybody is on level 10 right now. We defeated the last boss. And we done won the game. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Straight up, everybody.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Let's get verse number 33. 1 Samuel 17 and 33.
Khan, the book of 1 Samuel, chapter 17 and verse 33. And Saul said to David, thou art not able to go against this Philistine to fight with him, for thou art but a youth, and he a man of war from his youth.
Hey, didn't they say that about Brunson and the Knicks?
Uh-huh.
You ain't gonna win.
Right.
You ain't got no chance. Hell no. This dude's 7 feet.
7'4".
Right. Doing windmill dunk standing.
Uh,
You ain't got a chance. He's the face of the league. Same as how they look at us. Everybody look at us as nation of Israel. Yeah, we ain't got a chance in hell against these Edomites, these devils. They got all the power.
right.
They got the missiles, they got the rockets, they got the tanks, right? They got AI, they got everything on their side. They got all the power, all the weaponry. Right? Read on.
Salakia, quick precept. I'm not going to even, everybody knows Exodus 15:3. It's David knew this scripture. The Lord is a man of war. Everybody else is telling him, it says, and he a man of war from his youth. They talking Goliath was a man of war. King David knew the scriptures. He knew Exodus 15:3 that the Lord is a man of war. He wasn't. He called him a Philistine dog.
Right. Who let the dogs out?
Right. God.
Who let the dogs out?
God.
Yeah, and Psalms 144:1, when David said, the Lord teacheth my hands to war, my finger to fight.
My fingers to fight. Exactly. God. Another one of my favorite scriptures.
Out in the way they shall go. Same as Brunson's pops was training him when he was young. Right. He was training him from the angle of what? Mentality.
Right.
Just keep pushing. Keep pushing. Stay consistent with it. You know, training some of the stuff is behind the scenes that people don't see. So all the times you had to, you know, praying, fasting. These are the things that people see that the Lord said not to boast about, right? But between you and Yahweh.
Right.
Read on.
Verse 34. And David said unto Saul, thy servant kept his father's sheep, and there came a lion and a bear, and took a lamb out of the flock. And I went out after him and smote him and delivered it out of his mouth. And when he arose against me, I caught him by his beard and smote him and slew him.
Oh, read on.
Thy servant slew both the lion and the bear, and this uncircumcised Philistine shall be as one of them, seeing he hath defied the armies of the living God Yahweh.
So you see how cold the Lord is? The mentality of David was, I'm going to win this battle. Why? Because of the previous battles, I was always a winner throughout my life. The Lord always made sure I was good. The Lord was fighting for me throughout these times. God? He went back to the days of old.
Right.
Look back to the times with our people. How many times the Lord delivered you, brothers and sisters, out of certain situations? And then you get jacked up and then you start to forget. Right? But David said, listen, I was in a situation with a lion and a bear, defending the lamb, defending the sheep. And the Lord gave me the strength to destroy them and to overcome them. Same as with Brunson. Literally angle, every level, aspect, and all of that stuff. So he had that championship mentality. But you would never know it because you look at the stature. Okay? And that also symbolized Israel. We're a nation of winners, but we lack confidence in these times. We forget who we were. We forget it's right. Look at Moses, right? Look at Joshua, who the Lord used, Joshua and Caleb. right? To destroy the 5 different nations in war.
Right.
Right? Brought us into the land. Look at all the judges in the book of Judges. Samson, Jehu, right? That was in Kings. Elihu, the left-handed Benjamite. Right? Every time we was backed against the wall, the Lord raised up a judge to defend us and to deliver us out of captivity. Even in First Maccabees, where Mattathias told his sons, remember your forefathers in those times. How the Lord didn't forget them. And he strengthened them like our forefather Noah, who the Lord saved out of everybody, saved him and his family and destroyed them with the flood, the rest of the world, because of their wickedness, right? So we got so many examples. Look at Daniel, who was in captivity, and what happened? The Lord protected him and Meshach and Abednego and Shadrach against Nebuchadnezzar.
Right.
And we overcame. Joseph, like we said earlier, Jacob. You know what I'm saying? We got so many examples of our forefathers that overcame. The sisters as well, too. We talked about Judith. We talked about Esther. You know, Sarah, so on and so forth. Deborah, right? Susanna, Hannah. Like, we got so many examples throughout the scriptures of our sisters that overcame because they had faith and belief in the Lord. And with the Knicks playing against the Spurs, in the mentality of Jalen Brunson, it was just another test. But the faith that he had in belief, they was able to overcome, and they did what? They pushed out all the distractions and stayed focused. And that's a lesson we can all learn. Because all throughout the series, people was like, yeah, he's too short, he can't make it and all of this stuff, a lot of doubt. You know, he's not the number 1 option and everything. Right? They're gonna lose in the they're gonna lose the first game and they ain't gonna play no more, they're gonna quit.
Right.
And they made a historic comeback, and they had I think it was like a 13 to like 3 run. Beat teams by like 20 points, 30 points, and all of that stuff.
Right.
And they don't got superstars on the team. It's just a group of brothers that know how to work together to get one goal accomplished together as a team.
Right.
You know? Shit, look at Mike Brown. Mike Brown was mocked at, laughed at. Everybody was saying, yeah, he can only do it because LeBron was there.
Right.
You know? And you know what's funny, Ak? Look how cold the Lord is. Because Ak, don't even in the NBA, they always have this certain system. They'll hire a black coach, right? And what they'll do, they'll allow the black coach to build the team, the personnel of the team, and Ak, what do they do next?
They fire him and hire a white coach.
And they fire him and hire a white coach. Ain't that crazy?
That's what they did in Golden State with Steph Curry and them.
Yeah, with Steph Curry. Because remember, you know what's crazy? Who was it? Mark Jackson.
Yep.
Mark Jackson, like I said, even though our people, they always believe in God. Now, Mark Jackson was a Christian, you know, here and there, this and that. But he instilled in the players prayer.
Right.
Always pray to God within a wicked world and also within a wicked league. All the homosexuality, craziness going on, right? He instilled within the player, especially Steph Curry and them, and they loved him as a coach. They respect him as a man. He was a man of integrity, a godly man. They loved him as a coach, right?
Right.
And just when they built the team, like Yawasab said, they fired him and they hired who?
Hired damn Steve Kerr.
Steve Kerr. So when the Warriors won the championship, who's the one that got all the credit?
Steve Kerr.
Steve Kerr. But they didn't give no credit to the dude, the brother, the black man, the Israelite man that helped build the team, like they do to us today. Right. We built the system. We built the foundation for all these companies and franchises and all of this stuff. And guess what? Once it start to excel and start to make millions of dollars, who gets all the credit? Who's the face of the company? The white man now.
God.
You know what I'm saying? Look what they try to do with tendonism. You know? Jake was coming in and he was, man, everybody loved him. Right? Promotion, hey man, we got to get Unk this, we got to get Unk that, man. You had people traveling thousands of miles just to meet Unk for tendonism because of the spirit that he had. Right? Joyful. loving, happy. And he was a good cook, right? Barbecuing, grilling, and everything. But what happened? That white man got mad. He got jealous. So he tried to steal the company from Unc and actually fired him. And what happened? Look how cold the Lord works. Because what happened? The people seen how Esau did him dirty, and guess what? They all came together and found a way to support him and get him his own thing.
Exactly.
Huh? And now what happened? He started to blow up. He's all over the news, all over the videos and all of that stuff. And his ratings, his views, everything just skyrocketed. But even that's the lesson right there, where it's showing you when we come together and work together, the Lord will bless that. That's what the Lord wants us to do as a people, as a nation. And that's in a worldly aspect. So imagine in the spiritual truth. Huh? Anything you want to say, Ak?
No, Khan. Mighty beautiful lesson. Mighty lesson, Cap.
Khan.
All praises.
All praises, King. Praise Yahweh Shem Yahushai. So now, with them working together as a team, making a sacrifice. But what's happening now? Everybody was rooting for this team, right? And why? Because they had an underdog story. Khan? They had an underdog story. People was doubting them, looking over them, and all of this stuff. And that's the same with us as the nation of Israel. As more and more people start to find out we're the Israelites, they start to wake up. More and more people the Lord going to have on our side, and they're going to start to cheer us on, start to push us on to keep going, keep going. But first, they'll have doubt in the beginning. Same as the video I showed y'all with the dude Brock. The coach was telling him, hey, you got this. And the rest of his teammates didn't believe. And he didn't have faith. He didn't have confidence, and he didn't believe until he was pushed. Coach kept pushing him. And he was thinking that he was carrying a man that was 140 pounds. Across the football field, it was a man that was 160 pounds. So 20 more pounds extra added to show you, same as with symbology. I was speaking with Nadib earlier, like with the symbology of us in the weight of the world that's on us, right? And we trying to carry this weight. We're trying to carry, our families, those that doubt us, those that hate us, right? Circumstances, jobs, finances, all of this stuff, while walking a narrow path and trying to endure and trying to be of a sound mind and sound judgment in these times. And it's tough because we got wickedness all around us, right? But us staying focused as a people and following the ways of Yahweh Shem Yahushai, he's the one that's leading us and guiding us. That's why the coach was telling him, yeah, I'm going to give you the flag on your face to blindfold you. It's basically to keep you focused. It's like a horse's bridles to keep them focused. That's how we got to be as a people. Stay focused. Keep your eyes on the prize. And what is that prize? The kingdom of heaven. But we got to work for it. We got to work towards it. Khan? Yeah, y'all what's up? If you're still there, let me know. Because I got 2 more precepts.
Khan, I'm here. I just went on mute.
Okay, Khan. Let me see. Because we talked about with Brunson, with leadership, sacrifice, underdog story, David and Goliath, right? Enduring. If I read the rest of 1 Samuel 17, David, he knocked Goliath with the slingshot, bust him right in the head, right? That's like when Brunson shot a 3-pointer right in front of Wemby's face.
Right.
And Wemby tried to foul him, and he a dirty player. He tried to injure him too.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
He tried to injure him the whole series.
Yeah.
And he shot the dagger right in his face for that 3-pointer, and they kept coming back nonstop. They was down by 30 points. The game that they won, game 4 with OG Anunoby, what happened? They made that comeback, and he won the game, I think, like 1 or 2 points. And he kept going. He kept pushing, played on defense, blocked the ball, played back on offense, right? He had the game-winning tip. And the whole city kept going. It was going crazy. Like, everybody was celebrating. Have you ever seen New York City this united?
Not definitely not. They They even brought the tribe of Ephraim and the tribe of Simeon together. They had
God,
the Dominican come together.
right.
They jokes about it, like, oh snap, this is, so it brought the city together in a lot of different ways. People went a little crazy. They definitely went, but that's to be expected when, you get a lot of people hyped up and drunk and, high, all kind of stuff like that. They took it a little overboard, but at the same time, they're like with the righteous balance, like you always said, false balance is an abomination. So, it was balanced on both sides.
God. And let me get Judges chapter 1. Because like you were saying, because that's important too as well. If people know the dynamics of Simeon and Ephraim in New York, oh my God.
Right.
They hate each other guts. I mean, they hate each other guts. Right? So for them, like we always was saying, for them to even come together
Right.
and happy and celebrate, this joint is crazy. Right? Let me get Judges chapter 1 and verse number 3.
The book of Judges chapter 1 and verse 3. And Judah said unto Simeon his brother, come up with me into my lot, that we may fight against the Canaanites. And I likewise will go with thee into thy lot.
Hey,
So,
look what Brunson and Carl Anthony Towns.
right.
Carl Anthony Towns is Simeon.
God.
Right? And what Carl Anthony Towns say? He said, hey, I got your back. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna go to war together. I got your back. That's Northern and Southern Kingdom. We're gonna war together against these nations. I got your back. That's teamwork. God. And like you were saying earlier, with Simeon and Ephraim working together, like if people know the dynamics in New York, that's a miracle.
Exactly.
That's a damn miracle. Because when I was growing up in high school in Fordham High School, every time at lunch you had the DDPs, you had the Latin Kings sitting at different tables.
Right.
And with me, I was able to chill with everybody, so I'll go hang out with everybody and all of that. And after school, they always had them fights. And as soon as we get out of school, the DDPs and the Latin Kings, the DDP Dominicans don't play. The Latin Kings with the Puerto Ricans, they was always fighting after school. They could never get along. And at the time, I was kind of confused. I'm like, what the hell? Y'all both speak Spanish. Like, what the hell is this? I can't even get along.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But that shows you the curses, like in Deuteronomy chapter 20 and 54. And it also shows you within sports was used as a tool to galvanize and to unify people.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Because I watched the videos, bro. I seen Esau. I seen Moab. I seen Ammon. I seen Elam. I seen Ham. I seen Judah. I seen Ephraim. Everybody with a Knicks jersey.
God, everybody got a Knicks hat, a Knicks jersey.
You know what I'm saying? Laughing and dancing and partying and celebrating all of this stuff. Everybody is having a good time. Ain't no fighting amongst each other, amongst the Knicks fans. Because we're not going to talk about what they did to the Spurs. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But look how cold the Lord is. He's showing you unity with the people, but we as Israelites understand that is not the right way. Because at the end of the day, that's still the world. Huh? That is not of the truth. That is not of our people as a nation unifying in righteousness. That is still our people, still of the world. And these are things that we can learn from. If they can God, huh? If they can unify in ignorance and they go hard, they go, do their training, all of this stuff, wake up 6 a.m. in the morning, working out and this and that, make sure they're on point with their diet, taking care of their body and their temple, or to play a game, or to play a sports game to get that one chip, that trophy. But then what happened? Next year is a whole new season. But when it comes to us as the nation of Israel, we get that one chip, that one trophy, the championship, which symbolized the kingdom heaven, it's a wrap. We ain't got to do nothing else. We make it to the kingdom or we good. Right? All right, let me get 1 Samuel chapter 4 and verse 10.
Con.
Because I'm gonna speak I want to show you what David in the Ark of the Covenant. 1 Samuel chapter 4 and verse 10.
The book of 1 Samuel chapter 4 and verse 10. And it reads, and the Philistines fought, and Israel was smitten, and they fled every man into his tent. And there was a very great slaughter, for there fell of Israel 30,000 footmen. And
right, so Slakia, that's the Philistines, right?
Hmm?
We was fighting against the Philistines, and our people lost. Read on.
And the ark of Yahweh was taken, and the two sons of Eli, Hophni and Phinehas, were slain. And there ran.
Right. So the Ark, yeah, Slakia. So the Ark of the Covenant could symbolize like the trophy, right? It's like whoever got it, they got the reputation, they got the recognition, and all of that stuff. When we had our Ark of the Covenant on the battlefield, we was not losing, right? But the Lord had to bring judgment upon us as a nation during that time because the sins that we committed as a people, right? So now what happened? Later on, it speds up. Let me get 1 Samuel chapter 5.
The phone went out, Cap. You said 1 Samuel 5 and what verse?
5 and 2. In verse number 2. 1 Samuel 5 and 2.
Salakia. The book of 1 Samuel chapter 5 and verse 2. When the Philistines took the ark of Yahweh, they brought it into the house of Dagon and set it by Dagon. And when they of Ashdod arose early in the morrow, behold, Dagon was fallen upon his face to the earth before the ark of the Lord. And they took
Dagon. Now jump to verse number 10. So what happened? The Philistines got the Ark of the Covenant, and it's not meant for them. It wasn't made for them. So what happened now? The Lord was bringing plagues and judgment upon them. They couldn't handle it. Con? Verse number 10 now.
The book of 1 Samuel chapter 5 and verse 10. Therefore they sent the ark of Yahweh to Ekron. And it came to pass, as the ark of Yahweh came to Ekron, that the Ekronites cried out, saying, they have brought about the ark of the God of Israel to us, to slay us and our people. So they sent and gathered together all the lords of the Philistines and said, send away the ark of the God of Israel, and let it go again to his own place, that it slay us not and our people, for there was a deadly destruction throughout all the city. The hand of Yahweh was very heavy there, and the men that died not, were smitten with the emerods, and the cry of the city went up to heaven.
Right. So from there, you could also tie the Ark of the Covenant. It was like the power of the scriptures, the knowledge and wisdom to understand the laws and the commandments of God, the chosen one, the Bible, the kingdom of heaven, right? All the blessings that come with it. The other nations can't handle that because it was not created for them. It was only created for us. God. So they had no choice but to give it back to us, because as long as they kept it, they kept getting plagued by the Lord. God.
And Salakia kept inside the ark were the commandments.
What are commandments? God. You see what I'm saying? So now let's go to 2 Samuel chapter 6 and read verse 1 through verse 5. So now David has the Ark of the Covenant, because during that time in 1 Samuel, that's where later on was Saul and all of them and all of that stuff, right? So now David got the Ark of the Covenant, right? And look what he does with it. 2 Samuel chapter 1 and verse number 5.
The book of 2 Samuel chapter 1 and verse number 5.
Slakia, chapter 6, 2 Samuel chapter 6, verse 1 through 5. Slakia.
All good. All praises to the Most High. The book of 2 Samuel, chapter 6, the ark of the Lord. Again, King David gathered together all the chosen men of Israel, 30,000. And David arose and went with all the people that were with him from Baal of Judah to bring up from thence the ark of Yahweh, whose name is called by the name of the Lord of hosts, that dwelleth between the cherubims.
Right. So now, if you check in verse 1, it said chosen men of Israel, 30,000, right? Now check this. When David went to war, he didn't just do it by himself. He had a team. Khan? He had a team. And the mighty men of David in 2 Samuel, it speaks about it. 2 Samuel chapter 6, on down throughout this chapter, and also in Psalms 23. Right? In 2 Samuel chapter 8. David had a mighty team of mighty men. Right? And the top of those team was he had 37 mighty men. Right? And it was all sharp, they was all mighty, they were strong. You know, the Lord gave them power. And they was putting these nations to death. So he didn't just do it by himself, right? Let me get 1 Samuel 22 and 1. And we'll go back to 2 Samuel.
The book of 1 Samuel, chapter 22 and verse 1. David therefore departed thence and escaped to the cave of Adullam. And when his brethren and all his father's house heard it, they went down thither to him.
Right.
And
remember in the time when David was getting chased by Saul? Before he was king, right? This is the same day we're reading about, like in 1 Samuel 17 and also in 2 Samuel 6. Because what happened? Once you start to win, you forget how you started in the beginning.
Right.
You start to get proud and cocky, right? But this was part of David's beginnings. Read on.
And everyone that was in distress, and everyone that was in debt, and everyone that was discontented gathered themselves unto him, and he became a captain over them, and there were with him about 400 men.
So of those 400 men, if you go back to, let's go back to 2 Samuel chapter 6, those were within the 30,000, right? But the mentality of these men that all gathered with David, they were going through stress, they was going through debt, they hated the society that they was living in with Saul, oppressing the people as a nation, right? They were like castaways, right? So these were the people that was gathering with David. Okay? And that also symbolized us as a nation of Israel. We're like the black sheep of our family.
Right.
So all the stuff that we go through, people's going to doubt us. They're going to make fun of us. They don't believe in us. They think we're in a damn cult and everything. And we're in this wicked society that we're living in, suffering the curses. And we want to make a change. We want to come out the ways of the world into the ways of light. So they all gathered with David, who was a righteous man. Right? Let's go back to 2 Samuel chapter 6.
The book of 2 Samuel, chapter 6 and verse 3. And they set the ark of Yahweh upon a new cart, and brought it out of the house of Abinadab, that was in Gibeah. And Uzzah and Ahio, the sons of Abinadab, drave the new cart. And they brought it out of the house of Abinadab, which was in Gibeah, accompanying the ark of Yahweh. And Ahio went before the ark. And David and all the house of Israel played before the Lord on all manner of instruments made of fir wood, even on harps, and on psalteries, and on timbrels, and on cornets, and on cymbals.
Right. So what is this tying into? Because remember, they're carrying the Ark of the Covenant on what? It start with a C.
Chariot?
Yeah, a cart.
A cart.
Yeah, like a chariot, or like a cart. Yeah, right. Like a driving vehicle, whatever, and all of that stuff. Right. It's the same symbology with a championship parade.
Right.
Once they get that trophy, and they going through the city with that float, they driving around. Right. They carrying it around, and what's happening? They're playing music. Everybody's celebrating. Everybody's happy. Everybody having a good time. That was the same thing that was going on with David and the Israelites in that time. Once they got back the Ark of the Covenant, they was parading it all throughout the city. It's like a team that won the championship, and they come back to their city and they're being celebrated, God, for the parade. Right? Now jump to verse number 14.
Verse number 14. And David danced before the Lord with all his might, and David was girded up with a linen ephod.
Right. Let your head down. Have a good time now. You can celebrate. Right? That's like with us. We endure for the kingdom of heaven. We make it to the kingdom. Oh, we going to get down. Boy, we going to get down. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
No more tears. No more pain. No more sorrow. But we got to keep enduring. We got to keep pushing to get that crown, to get that trophy. So we can celebrate. You think your house ain't about to get down when he come back? And the nation of Israel is majestic and beautified, and all our people being saved in righteousness.
Right.
Right? Read on.
David was girded with a linen ephod. So David and all the house of Israel brought up the ark of the Lord with shouting and with the sound of a trumpet. And as the ark of the Lord came into the city of David, Michal, Saul's daughter, looked through a window and saw King David leaping and dancing before the Lord. And she despised him in her heart.
So look, Ak, while you happy and celebrating, there's going to be people that's still going to hate you, right?
Right.
Yo, there's people that's still going to curse you out, throw curses on you, and then try to kill you or something.
Right.
When you in a joyful moment, right? All Israel was celebrating the Ark of the Covenant being returned back to the city. It was like their championship parade. And the righteousness for the Lord, but they won their battles through the Lord, through Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. They was fighting for the nation of Israel in righteousness against these other nations. And now it's time for them to celebrate. Read on.
And they brought in the ark of the Lord and set it in his place in the midst of the tabernacle that David had pitched for it. And David offered burnt offerings and peace offerings before Yahweh. And as soon as David had made an end of offering burnt offerings and peace offerings, he blessed the people in the name of the Lord of hosts. And he dealt among all the people, even among the whole multitude of Israel, as well to the woman as the men, to everyone a cake of bread and a good piece of flesh and a flagon of wine. So all the people departed, everyone to his house.
Right. So that's Israel celebrating the return of the Ark of the Covenant. They had a parade. They literally had a parade. And David is celebrating with everybody. Man, woman, and children. Get everybody food, drink, blessing them, praying for them, make sure that they're good. They get back home. Everybody's in a joyful mood. God. And that's so imagine that with us as Israelites. Because the world is joyful right now. It's having a good time. But we talking about when we truly enjoy the return of the Messiah and being in the kingdom of heaven, how glorious that's going to be. You know what I'm saying? And we love to party. We love to celebrate. We love to have a good time. And people could be joyful because of a Knicks winning the championship. Imagine if we get that crown of life, bro. All the doubts. Go ahead, King.
Imagine when we just get on the chariots. Like,
oh, man.
We even get the crown of life. We just
you know what I'm saying?
Like, oh, man. You know what I'm saying? We're going to have all kind of praising and glorifying, honoring the Most High for keeping, keeping his promise to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob.
God. And Abraham had to wait 100 years. That's in Genesis chapter 20 and 21. Isaac. You know, like I said in Matthew 13, where the Lord said, blessed are your eyes and your ears, because you can hear, you can see. Right? Because you have many prophets and righteous that wish they can see the times that you're in now. In the days that we're in now. Go ahead, King.
Got a precept, Salakia.
Bring it out.
2 Peter verses 3 and 4, and saying, where is the promise of his coming? For since the fathers fell asleep, all things continue as they were from the beginning of creation. And that's what scoffers will come and say to us. Scoffers will come and especially Muslim scoffers and atheist scoffers, the Kemet scoffers, the people who think they from dang on Egypt, they'll come out and say, where's your HOI? You've been waiting for 2,000 years, over 2,000 years for your HOI. But when we do get the promise of his coming and we see that the promise of the Most High swore by his own name, because there was no name he could swear by higher, and we are. That's why that's why we say we are of the hopeful elect, because we hope that we are able to see the promise of his coming. Like you was just bringing out, many prophets waited and wished to see the day of Yahweh Shai coming. So praise to the Most High that Most High willing, we in these last days and end times, and the Most High will show us his promise of his only begotten son, the Lion of the tribe of Judah and the holy Lamb of God, the Lion of the tribe of Judah coming back.
God, beautiful precept. Let me get Matthew 13 and verse number 16 and 17. Right? Like, I'm gonna keep emphasizing again. If people is this joyful for a Knicks team winning the championship after 53 years, imagine the Lord and we getting in the kingdom.
God.
Yo, people in New York going crazy. They partying, damn, they're like, since they won the chip, Nick, since they got to the finals, they've been partying.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
God.
And once they won the chip, now they going crazy, chaos, euphoria, and pandemonium and all of this stuff. And hey, a lot of people with the I'm trying to get my lick back. Hey, what you said about the Knicks?
Right.
Huh? What you say?
God.
You know what I'm saying?
God.
A lot of the doubters and the naysayers and everything. Hey, check this. I was one of them. Me and Elder Terrell always make this joke. We was talking. He's like, Young Lion, I'm telling you, Young Lion, they gonna do it, They gonna do it. I'm telling you. You gotta have faith, brother. You gotta have faith, brother. And I was always telling the Elder, I'm sorry, Elder, I can't do it. I can't do it. I'll wait till we probably gotta wait till Yahweh Shai come before the next win. I can't do it.
God.
Man, we was joking around talking, man, we might have to wait till the kingdom for them to win, man. Cause it was just so much like, you like, bro, you could have just made, it was like, oh my God. To where I liken them to Deuteronomy 28, the curses. Like, we would never succeed or win and all that. So even I had some doubt as well, too.
Right.
But it's all of the Lord. Like, Khan, like Elder Macabre said, I can't even imagine. And Macabre could tell you. They're in New York right now, and he could tell you the difference and see the change of the people, literally. Right? And could see the hospitality of people. There was this one video I watched on Facebook. You had an Edomite said, bro, he said, I don't know what to do, man. I'm confused. I'm so used to people cursing me out and me mugging and and I woke up the next morning, everybody said good morning. And he was like, I don't know what to do. I'm confused. It's the same place. Yeah. He's like, people was being nice, people was holding the door for you. And he's like, is this the same New York? God, yeah, King. That's a beautiful point. And our crime went down by 78%.
Right.
While they was winning. You see what I'm saying?
People was inside watching the dang on game.
They was inside watching the game. Staying out of trouble.
And also, even though this people, people always Salaki, Cap, people always gonna, overreact to things. But you see, Esau put on TV was that we was wilding out, burning buses, doing all kind of other stuff. But crime actually went down. You know what I'm saying? So you had those small little pockets of the knuckleheads and, the people who was bugging out, whatever, you know what I'm saying, going and going forward. But as a majority and as a whole, things actually looked a little bit better. You know what I'm saying?
Crime actually went down. And that's what's crazy. That's because the team was winning and people had hope.
Right.
And it was more of a, we're in this together. Let's stick together. Hey, man, it's us versus everybody.
Con.
Imagine if Israel had that mentality.
Con.
What?
One Salaki, Cap, one more precept quick.
God, bring it out.
2 Thessalonians chapter 2 and verse 8. And then shall the wicked be revealed, whom the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth, and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming. So that's what we hoping for. We
God.
hoping Most High, and through the Most High utilizing his people and using us as his prophets, using us as his teachers and his preachers. We going out and we revealing who the wicked is. Donald Trump, the Edomites, J.D. Vance, all what's his name, Benjamin Netanyahu, Vladimir Putin. We going out revealing these people as being wicked, and you see what the Most High is doing. Epstein files is dropping. War going on all across the world. Every week Trump is lying about he signed a deal, and Iran is like, I never signed a deal, I don't know what you're talking about. You know what I'm saying? And Benjamin Netanyahu goes back and bombs up Lebanon. So we teaching, and we through the spirit and power by Hashem Mashiach Yahushai, the Most High is using us as his mouthpieces, as he did with the prophets of old. The prophet, as it says in Jeremiah 8 and was 28 and 8, the prophets before me prophesied war and pestilence, and that's what the Most High is doing with us. And so we hope that the Most High sends Yahushai to consume with the spirit of his mouth. He's also going to come out and utilize the sword of his mouth, the spirit of his mouth, and destroy our enemies with the brightness of his coming. So that's also what we're hoping for in the spirit, is that the Most High sends Yahushai and finishes this job up, finishes his work up, and that it didn't return unto him void.
And destroy our enemies.
Destroy.
Right? Yeah, let me get Matthew 13 and verse number 16 and 17.
The book of Matthew, chapter 13 and verse 16. But blessed are your eyes, for they see, and your ears, for they hear.
Right, but blessed are your eyes because they see. We're focused on the kingdom. We're blessed because we're focused on the kingdom of heaven while we're still living in this world, right? We know how to go back and forth and see, hey, man, we know how to be around the people and all of that stuff, but we know how to separate ourselves from everybody else, from the physical and the spiritual. God? Like Paul even spoke about it, right? But keep going, read on.
Verse 17, for verily I say unto you, that many prophets and righteous men have desired to see those things which ye see, and have not seen them, and to hear those things which ye hear, and have not heard them.
So even our forefathers, they wish they could see the kingdom of heaven. Bro, they wish they could see these times, how close we are to the return of Messiah. We're literally living in the last days, right? They wish they could see we're that close to getting our championship. We're that close to getting the kingdom, but we got to endure. Right? Like for another example, look at all the previous Knicks players, the legends, previous Knicks legends.
Right.
You see how they all came through and they all just coming together and they supporting, like they got that hunger, like, yo, I couldn't get that chip in my time. This is the best team I've ever seen that got the best chance of getting it.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? And that symbolized like us. Like our parents, our family, in their ignorance, they don't understand the Lord has put us in a different path.
Right.
To walk for the kingdom of heaven. Those that have lost their lives in this truth, those that have lost their lives in the world. Loved ones that we have lost. You don't think they're not rooting for you to make it, to endure? Right? To take away that reproach that's on the family, the curses we suffered as a people, as your family members and all of that stuff. You don't think they want to root for you to endure, to get that kingdom? God? And cheering for you? Loved ones that we literally lost, even brothers in the truth, for you brothers in the truth, brothers that we lost within the camp, Shemaiah, Elder Mishael, Sister Banat, right, within HOI, even brothers within other camps and the sisters as well too. You don't think they cheering for us to keep pushing forward, keep going? God? Your aunts and uncles, favorite cousins, family members, that that die without having the knowledge of being an Israelite, you don't think they're not in the third heaven right now? And they see you walking in the path of righteousness? You don't think they cheering for you to keep pushing so you can redeem their family? Like, this is real, man. That's why we got to keep going. We got to keep enduring. Right? And the Knicks players, the Knicks legends, they lived to see the Knicks win a chip. And they couldn't do it in their time. Patrick Ewing, you know how happy he is right now?
Right.
Right? All the former players we showed throughout the videos, that all choke, that all missed the shot, the game-winning shot to get them the chip in the finals. You don't think how happy they are right now? They don't feel redeemed right now? So imagine us in the kingdom, bro. Right? Let me get 1 Maccabees chapter 3, and then we'll close out with 1 Corinthians. 1 Maccabees chapter 3 and 1.
Excuse me. God. The book of 1 Maccabees chapter 3 and verse 1. And his son Judas, who was called Maccabeus, rose up in his stead, and all his brethren helped him. And so did all they that clave unto his father, and they fought with gladness the battle of Israel.
You see? And that's what I was talking about with this team. They moved together as a team. Huh? It was a team effort. And they loved to play for the city, the Knicks and all of that stuff. And they loved the fans and all of that. But they loved each other. They moved together as a team. They wanted to see each other succeed and win. We got to have more of that in Israel. Where we're helping each other, uplifting each other, exhortation. Like brothers always say, where's the exhortation videos for each other, for brothers and sisters?
Right.
You got 1,000 rebuke videos, but where's the exhortation videos for each other? Don't let the negative amongst us outweigh the positive. God? Give a shout out to a brother and sister for the works that they're doing. I'll help them a lot. You know? That'll build up their character even more. That'll make them feel appreciated. You know? And we got to be that example. We got to lead by example. We ain't got to be the people that follow the trend. No. We create the trend according to the will of Yahweh Shemel Shai. Read on.
And he got his people great glory, and put on a breastplate as a giant, and girt his warlike harness about him, and set battles in array, protecting the army with his sword.
You see that? So that's Maccabees. He got himself great glory by putting on the armor. That's like a player putting on their jersey. That jersey represents the team in that city. Con? And then they got their name on their back, which also represents what? Their family. Right. Same as us with the nation of Israel. The name on the front represents the team and the nation, and the name on the back represents you and your household. You're the head of your household and your family name. Same as with these jerseys. So the Maccabees, they will have Maccabees on their back for the Maccabee family, right? And on the front, it'll be what? Yasharallah, the nation of Israel. That's the team that they'll fight for, right? And they're protecting home field, like how we supposed to be doing as the people. And defending our people as the nation of Israel, like David defended the lambs against the lions and the bears. That's what he's supposed to be doing, spiritually and physically. Right? Not take advantage of our people, but be happy and cheerful to go out to the highways and hedges and teach and edify our people to bring back the sheep unto God. And part of that garment, Slakia, part of the jersey is your garment. Your physical and your spiritual, and your customs and your heritage. Wear with pride. Go ahead, King.
No, I was just gonna say, and it's written in the prophets. I believe it's written in Isaiah. It's written in the Apocrypha. And then it's also written in the Gospels, the breastplate of righteousness.
Right.
That's what we got. We put on the full armor. You know, and Paul explains it as putting on the full armor. And you know, wacko Christians and wacko what they call them, apologetics or whatever they call them, they don't even realize that what Paul is doing, and he's quoting something right there when he talks
Right.
on the full armor. He's quoting the prophets, and he's quoting where it's written in the Apocrypha multiple times actually. And the Judas Maccabees, he put on the breastplate as if he was a giant and took up the sword to protect his people. And when you go back to, like you was reading earlier in David took off the breastplate of the king and put down the sword and picked
Right.
up slinging the stone until he picked up Goliath's giant sword and chopped off his head. So it's like that breastplate of righteousness and that helmet of salvation. Those is the that's why it says our and the sword of the spirit is the weapons that we use, that the Most High gave us to go out and use to protect our people, to show our people their transgressions, to wake up the elect, and to wake up our brothers and our sisters, and get us on the right track to living by the laws, statutes, and commandments of Yahweh. So it's the breastplate of salvation now, and the sword of the spirit, and the shield of faith, and the helmet of salvation, and girding our loins with the truth, and shodding our feet in the sandals of peace, that we come in peace. We ain't going out to camp with guns like what was the dude who got the not effing around guy or whatever, you know what I'm saying? He going around with guns on his shoulders trying to take over and all that. Now we got our sandals shod in peace. We will defend ourselves, you know what I'm saying? But we going out with our weapons, and our weapons are not carnal. It's the sword of the spirit, the shield of faith, the breastplate of righteousness, the helmet of salvation. I yield. Sorry,
God, beautiful point, King Khan. Nah, beautiful point, beautiful addition as well too. You know, and great interpretation, because that's literally what it is too. And quick thing with David dropped down the physical weapon, even though he had the slingshot. But remember, with the slingshot, it's like a modern day gun or whatever. The warriors during those times, they had sword and shield. So the Lord came at Goliath with something he never expected.
Right.
See what I'm saying? It was a weapon he never expected. Long distance, and it was that them stones, and it was smooth, and David had strength and power to cock back. It's like a gun, right? And it was a quick shot. It was a headshot, right? Like you said, bing bong, right in between the eyes, right on the money. You know what I'm saying? And plus, you could tell how David was strong because he was able to lift up the sword of Goliath. Right? I think, was it a sword or a spear? He was able to lift that up, and it wasn't light. It was heavy.
Right, was it
David
giant sword for Jermaine?
Yeah. Right. It's like that show, House of David, King.
Khan.
You remember? And later on throughout the show, he went back for that sword.
Right.
And he just started flaming young and people left and right.
God. And
you know?
And one thing historically that they showed in the TV show was that we were going from the brass age into the iron age.
Yeah.
You know? So the metal was actually different. The iron is heavier than brass, as well as stronger than brass. So that and when you look historically, that's actually what was happening during that time period. There were armies that used brass, and then there were armies that used the armies that used iron were the ones that, you know, eventually was able to take over.
And that's a beautiful point. I think it was in Chronicles when we was fighting against the Philistines, and they changed the material of their chariots and their weapons. I think they changed it into iron, like you were saying. Right. But David later on in 2 Samuel chapter 8, he was able to beat them, and he took all their resources and gave it unto Israel. You know what I'm saying? But let's get go ahead, King.
I was just gonna say that's season 2 for everybody that did it.
Boy,
watch the show.
Yeah, I gotta watch House of David. King. Yeah, I join his fire. Yeah, it's worth watching. You know what I'm saying? And they actually got the Paleo Hebrew in there too as well. Yeah. What you call it? In his verse number 4, and his acts, he was like a lion, and like a lion's whelp roaring for his prey. So same as the mentality of a lion is like a chess player, right? But also a lion has that mentality as the king of the jungle, because number one, they're not the biggest, right? Between the cat family you would say the tiger, right? They're not the fastest. The fastest is who? Is the cheetah, right?
Right.
They're not the stealthiest. The stealthiest is between the panther or the leopard, especially the panther.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? But what differentiates the lion from the rest of these animals within the cat family? It's the mentality. God? The mentality, how it walks, how it thinks, how it moves, it believes is the king of the jungle, and it moves like it. And they'll take on all challenges. And also within a lion, if you do research on a lion, whether y'all know it or not, they know how to work together as a team. They know how to work together as a team. Right? So that's probably one of the reasons why the Lord likened us unto lions. Right? Even though we're mighty, we're strong, and we can do things individually. We're excel, but we excel even more when we come together and put the best of our resources together, and iron sharpeneth iron. We exchange different ideas with each other and improve as a nation, as a people. Keep our resources amongst each other. And that's what's happening now, like I said earlier, with Moab. Moab is starting to feel the pain now.
Right.
Because some of our people now, they say, you know what? To hell with this. I ain't gonna go to no damn Chinese hair salon or nail salon. We're gonna support this sister that already got one that she already using and all of that. Or we gonna put our funds together because we've been all going to this sister and she been hooking everybody up all throughout the block. And we're gonna put our money and resources together. We're gonna create for her a business and open up a shop for her of a hair salon or a nail salon. And we're gonna keep money amongst our people. Oh, you know what's crazy? I seen this one video with Jake. You know what Jake did? He said, man, I ain't gonna go to them damn Chinese dudes, man. I'm gonna open up a Chinese spot.
God.
And guess what? All the stuff that we be eating from Moab, Chinese food, chicken, and all of this stuff, which is cat, rat, and dog, Jake is actually gonna make it and even better. And there's no cat, rat, and dog. It's chicken, is beef, is lamb, is so on and so forth. So what does that do? That takes Moab right out of business. So you ain't gotta go to a damn Chinese spot and they sticking their nose up at you. The place is dirty too. A lot of people don't mention about Chinese spots. They're dirty as hell. You see what I'm saying? And it's like that saying, how can you tell a person, if a person car is all dirty and all of that stuff and this and that, and their occupation, they're supposed to be a cleaner, you can't trust them to be a cleaner.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's one thing if they're a carpenter or whatever, that's one thing, because they always got a lot of stuff they got to deal with. But if your occupation is a cleaner and all of that, I can't trust you if your house is dirty and everything's dirty. I can't trust you with the food you're making. Hell no. Unsanitary. But a lot of our people go to the Chinese spot, they eat all these Chinese foods, and look how dirty the place is. You got to think about that, because they got no respect for us. Huh?
Right.
Huh. But with Judas Maccabees, Slocky, verse number 7, he grieved also many kings and made Jacob glad with his acts, and his memorial is blessed forever. So that's Judas Maccabees. He put on that breastplate for his nation, defended his nation, happy to go to war for his people against the other heathens, right? And he was loved by the people and remembered and also thought about and mentioned to this day. God? Now, let me show y'all this, which is crazy. Don't we got a day of Simon Maccabees? Right. King, look how cool the Lord is, bro. Did you know OG Anunoby, when he made that game-winning tip-in? Right? You know what the people in New York City gave him? They gave him a day. They called it OG Anunoby Day.
God. God.
Yo. They gave him a day. They call it OG Anunoby Day. So what happened? Because they fought a battle against the Spurs, and when they was in desperation, they thought they was going to lose all hope. He came in and saved the game in game 4. And the people were so happy and excited that the mayor literally said, after this day forward, every year we're going to name it the day of celebration of OG Anunoby Day. You know what I'm saying? So that's same as who? Simon Maccabees, right? Why? Because the day of Simon Maccabees, what does it also tie into? Everybody lost hope because Judas and Jonathan was gone, right? So the nation of Israel was like, yo, we ain't got nobody else to protect us, to defend us against these nations. Who stood up?
Judas Maccabees and his brothers.
Yeah, but the last of them was who? Simon.
Simon, Khan.
Yeah, he was the last one left. So what happened? The nation of Israel was backed against the wall, was in despair. They didn't have no hope. And then the one that they least expected was the one that came in the clutch and won the game for them.
God.
Right? And he played on both ends, defense and offense. Same as with Simon Maccabees, how he dealt with the heathens. He was able to make a treaty with them and use that against them to empower his people.
God.
And plus, he created war engineering and all of this stuff, like war mechanics and all of that, weaponry, and found a way to break into the enemy's stronghold and to clear up the land, clean up the land from the heathens and kick them out, and to bring his people in and strengthen the foundation and the walls. Right? And now today, we got a day of Simon Maccabees that we celebrate our forefathers for the victories they have done for the nation of Israel against the heathens and for Yahweh Shemel Shai. So if they can do that in the world, and we got scripture to prove it pertaining to the truth of our forefathers in righteousness, I'm just giving y'all the parallels and the correlations. All right? Like this is all throughout the scripture. Right? Let me get one more. Crowning. Let's get this one. Because everybody want to get into the kingdom, but you got to endure for the kingdom of heaven. Right? We can't quit. You know? Wow. Let me get second Esdras, King.
Gotcha.
Chapter 2 and verse number... Verse number 41.
So like second Esdras chapter 2 and verse 41. The number of thy children whom thou longest for is fulfilled. Beseech the power of the Lord, that thy people which have been called from the beginning may be hallowed.
Read on.
I, Esdras, saw upon Mount Zion a great multitude, whom I could not number, and they all praised the Lord with songs.
Read on.
And in the midst of them there was a young man of high stature, taller than all the rest. And upon every one of their heads he set crowns, and was more exalted, whereat I marveled greatly. And so I asked the angel and said, What are these, my Lord? And he answered and said unto me, These be they that have put off the mortal clothing and put on the immortal, and have confessed the name of Yahweh. Now are they crowned and receive psalms.
Right. So these are basically those that have endured and got the kingdom of heaven. Right? They finally endured throughout the trials and tribulations in this world. They have finally endured in those times. Read on.
Then said I unto the angel, What young man is he that setteth crowns upon them, and giveth them psalms in their hands? So he answered and said unto me, It is the Son of Yahweh, whom they have confessed in the world. Then began I greatly to commend them that stood so stiffly for the name of the Lord.
You see that? So the ones that was getting rewarded was the elect and the 144,000 that was being crowned personally by Yahweh Shai. Khan? That's what we're looking for. We're trying to get that crown. We're trying to get the kingdom. Right? And we got to go through all the trials and tribulations. We got to go through all these tests. We got to go through the damn Jacob's trouble that's about to come ahead. We got to go through all the plagues that's happening in our respective places, America and all of this stuff. We got to go through Satan trying to destroy us every single day. Right? But we got to have love and compassion and the fruits of the spirit amongst each other as a people. We got to literally prefer one another and band together, strengthen each other. More prayers and blessing for each other and less trying to tear down and trying to bring down and trying to curse at and more exhortation and build up. Huh?
Uh-huh.
Let me get one more. I close out with this. 1 Corinthians chapter 9. 1 Corinthians chapter 9 and verse number 22. 22 on down to verse number 26. 26.
Con. The book of 1 Corinthians chapter 9 and verse 22. To the weak I became weak, that I might gain the weak. I am become all things to all men, that I may by all means save some.
So hold on. So even Paul, because in those times in Rome, boy, the times that with Israel dealing with the Romans, they was in power. They was dealing with gladiators, right? That's modern day sports. That's modern day boxers and all of that stuff. Right? Look what the White House, this damn devil, literally had a UFC fight in front of the White House. Right? So imagine if some of these players that wake up to the truth and come back to the Lord and start to support their people within the nation of Israel. You know what I'm saying? Like so many people that help donate it. Literally, we have people that help support different camps. That was sport players. Literally. Matter of fact, we had an actual sport player within our camp who was Tony Campbell.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? A mighty brother, humble brother, and all of that stuff. Right? So we got people that's waking up from the world and coming into the truth. And the brother told us, literally, he told me face to face. He said, I ain't gonna lie. I won championships with the Lakers. Right? And I was on the Knicks. That's what he said. He was on the Knicks and all of that stuff. And they won a championship. And he said that was one of the greatest moments in his life. The man told us literally when he came into the truth, the feast days, the love, the laws, the commandments of God, fellowshipping, gathering, spirit of brotherly love, and all of that stuff. He said he had no greater feeling than being an Israelite in the truth. Ever. Ever. He said he would trade the championships that he had as a Laker player with getting one chip for us as Israelites and getting the kingdom. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, praises.
God. He said he had a better time as being an Israelite than a former NBA two-time champion as a Laker player. Come on, Ak. And that's during the time with Magic Johnson, you know. And he had a better time as being an Israelite.
Right.
Because now it's more fulfilling and it has more of a better purpose. And plus you're doing it for Yahweh Shem Shai and for the redemption of your nation. Read on.
Verse 23. And I do all things for the gospel's sake, that I may be a joint partaker thereof. Know ye not they which run in a race run all?
Hey, didn't we talk about the triathlons?
Right.
Right? Or the gold medal races like Usain Bolt, even Sha'Carri Richardson, even Noah Lyles. Right? Did he win gold? I think he won gold medal, right?
Noah Lyles, yeah. He won gold
medal. Yeah, in the Olympics. Right? So Paul is even saying like those that run a race, but even with us as Israelites, we're running a marathon. It's a game of life. We're running a marathon. We got to endure. We got to keep pushing. Right? Read on.
All but one receiveth the prize. Even so run that ye may attain.
You see, all but one receiveth the prize. The champions for this year for 2026 in the NBA were the New York Knicks. Out of all the 32 teams within the NBA, there was a team that actually got the NBA Finals championship. And they're the winner. But it said all but one. But when it comes to us as Israelites in the truth, you have an open slot. The 144,000 for the men and the 1/3, which is the compass of men, women, and children. You have a chance. You have an open slot, but you got to work for it. You got to fight for it.
Salaki, Cap, you know, when it also talks about running the race, it's like the baton race. You know, when they do in the Olympics, the 4x4,
passing it around. Yeah.
And they pass the baton. So the elders, you know, from One West, which is why, you know, we've seen a couple of people that have talked against the elders that ruled well, and the elders that brought out the truth, and that, you know, we seen them fall to the wayside as soon as they started talking about the elders in a bad way.
Right.
Then even the dude who tried to make a video and talk bad about Priest Sabak, where is that dude now? He's back in the world. You know what I'm saying? The man was trying to talk about he was ready to kill his own brother, or he was going all
Right.
and he talked about, you know, our elder. He talked about Priest Naquam, who we know, you know, that's our brother. We always go out and go to battle with, and you know, go out to the July 4th rebuke and everything. And you see that dude fell off. So it's like our elders passed the baton on to the next generation, and then that next generation passed the baton on to our elders, and then our elders are teaching us and passing the baton to us, and we got to run the race and then pass the baton, like you said, on to the next generation of children, and teach them the law, statutes, and commandments. So it's you know what I mean? All praises.
God, beautiful point, Doc. That's a good point as well. You know, with the baton, you know, passing the baton, passing the torch, and to keep going. And those that you get the torch from, you want them to see you quit. You think they expect you to take the torch and drop it and quit? Hell no.
Right.
They want you to keep pushing.
Uh-huh.
You know what I'm saying? And finish the mission. Get to the end. Finish the mission. Because once you get there and finish that mission, you have redeemed us all. Con? Look at, I'm telling you, bro, look at this Knicks team right here. Anybody that had a part to do to help this Knicks team right here, they're getting glory and respect right now. You know what I'm saying? Why? Because they got to the end of the race. They won the chip. So now what's happening? Everybody's getting love, getting respect. Yeah, that's my cousin. That's my bro right there. I helped him do this. I helped him do that. I helped that sis do this and that. Yeah, everybody want to acknowledge you now. You know? And those that help you in the background, they're going to get their credit and their respect as well too. Why do you think the Lord said in Matthew chapter 10, when a person gives a prophet water, right? They said you will also get a prophet's reward.
Right.
Just for giving a person that's teaching the word of the Lord, water and food and resources, and helping them, allowing them to stay in your home and all of this stuff so they can do the work. When they get that reward, you're going to be rewarded too. Look with David with Abigail. Abigail told David, listen, have mercy upon me, because she was married to Nabal, who was a fool. And she knew David, how righteous he was. He was a mighty man. He fought for the nation of Israel, the army of God, while he was being hunted by Saul. He still kept his integrity, right? And I'm going to tell you, with this Knicks team, a lot of people root for them because they kept their integrity. They wasn't about the folly. They wasn't about the going back and forth and talking crap and, you know, trying to feed into that BS with the New York media and all of that stuff, trying to entice stuff and, you know, trying to make something bigger than what it actually is. No, they stay focused. When I think they had like 2 more games left, and Jaden Brunson, he walking out like he lost the game. You're like, damn. You know what I'm saying? They won the game and he walking out like he lost the game. Right? That was the mentality of don't stop. Keep pushing, stay focused. Mentality was 0-0. Hey, I got 1 more game. How you feel? We're still at 0-0.
Right. Right.
Once we get the chip, then we can celebrate. We're still at 0-0. The job ain't done yet. Why? Because they felt the weight of the city behind them. Everybody was hungry. They wanted that. 53 years of a drought. And you that close, and this the first time you see a team that reflects the city. Humble, hardworking. You know what I'm saying? Mind their business, get the job done, go with results, instead of just talking about it and all of that stuff and bragging. Same as we always say with us in the truth. Same as they always push with us within, especially HOI. Hey, don't deal with the folly. People trying to go at us and all that. Don't pay no mind to them. Stay focused. Don't entertain that. Stay focused. Come at it with a different approach. God? Stay humble. Stay diligent. Endure. The Lord got us. The Lord gonna wake us up one day. He gonna reward us one day. He gonna wake up our people. Just keep pushing. Right? And I'd rather deal with that than a person that's proud and boastful. And that's how it was with the Spurs. And we can learn from all of this stuff, man. And it's mighty to see in these times. So even with that, with the championship, and even like they said with the Book of Life, the Book of Life also symbolized when a player get their jersey retired on the rafters. Right? When they get their jersey retired, they already get solidified, the best, Bulls player or championship player, 6 rings, whatever. They got the whole record about that person and how many championships that they got and all of that stuff, the name, the height, and all of that stuff. That's like a book of remembrance, the Book of Life. The Lord got you recorded in all the works that you have done throughout that time that you was living on the earth. And your name will be remembered forever, according to the scriptures. But in the world, everything is temporary. Even with these players, 50 years from now, 100 years from now, they're not going to be remembered. God? But your name is in this Bible, in this Book of Life. People going to be still speaking about you 2,000 years later like they're doing with our forefather Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, Yahushua, the disciples, the apostles, the major and the minor prophets. And even the wicked is being mentioned as the opposition as well, too. Right? So, let me get one more, but this one is just for a little funny stuff. Let's get Tobit 14 and 15, and let's close out. Tobit 14 and 14, 14 and 15.
My phone dropped.
Oh, you want me to read it?
No, I'll get it for you.
Okay. Start at verse 13. Tobit 14, verse 13 through 15.
This is the book of Tobit, chapter 14 and verse 13. And it reads, "And he grew old in honor, and he buried his father and mother-in-law magnificently, and he inherited their substance, and his father Tobit's."
Right. So this is Tobias, right? So he grew old in honor, and he inherited the substance of both sides, right? Of his step parent, his step parents, and also his parents himself, right? Because when it comes to the custom of Israel, everything comes to the man, and he's the one that got to delegate the inheritance and all of that for the next generation, right? Read on.
And he died at Ecbatana of Media, being 107 and 20 years old.
Right. Read on.
And before he died, he heard of the destruction of Nineveh.
Right. So before Tobias died, he heard the destruction of Nineveh before he died. Read on.
Which Nebuchadnezzar and Assuerus took captive, and before his death, he rejoiced over Nineveh.
You see? Khan? Tobias lived to hear about the destruction of Nineveh, and then he said he could rest in peace now.
Oh, praises. The destruction of his enemies.
Right. There was a man in the book of Matthews. He lived to see the birth of Yahushua. He said he could die in peace now.
Right, God.
That's like the Knicks. They waited 50-something years. The Knicks finally got a chip. And Spike Lee and them say, "Man, we good now. We could do that."
Right. God. They got a chance to see it. That's what we
right. Right. We can rest in peace now.
Mm-hmm.
So if that's our people in the world in ignorance, imagine us in the truth, bro.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We passed in this truth for the Lord. We joyful, we happy because we completed our assignment. That's a golden ticket to the kingdom of heaven. Our name will be written and wrote about and spoken about for eternity if our name is in that book of life. But we must endure, man. Keep pushing, keep enduring. Just want to use a lesson real quick just to show, being faithful, enduring mentality, overcoming all obstacles, trials and tribulations, right? And a story of redemption. And, me, like I said, my testimony, I was a diehard Knick fan, bro. The Lord said, "Nah, nigga, They win a game and I'm more happy. They lose a game. Don't talk to me. And it had too much of a power over my spirit. But that was before I came into truth. You
Right.
know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
When I was in the world, it had too much of a power over my spirit, man. I couldn't control my spirit, even though I was a Muslim with high level of discipline. But when it came to the Knicks, I could not control my spirit. You know? So me, I'm just giving a quick testimony. Just, I ain't gonna lie, I'm happy to see this because I never thought it was possible. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? But it's even more motivation and inspiration that if this can happen in the world, imagine for us as Israelites in the truth, the
Con.
glory we can have in righteousness. So, like Paul said, run the race, right? Endure,
Con.
right? Oh, yeah, close it out with First Corinthians. I almost missed that one. Let me see. Slug here. First Corinthians 9 and verse number 20, verse number 25.
Con. The book of First Corinthians, chapter 9 and verse 25. And every man that striveth in the games is temperate in all things. Now they do it to receive a corruptible crown, but we an incorruptible.
You see, every man that strive for the mastery, like all the players throughout sports and all of this stuff, they wake up early in the morning, work out, right? 2 or 3 times a day, eat healthy, diet and all of this stuff, very strict, like Kobe with the mentality that he had,
Con.
right? And you seen what happened with him later on, right? He got his glory in this world, but that was just for temporary entertainment and all of that. We're
Mhm.
looking for something even higher. So they striving for the mastery to get that championship, to get that damn Stanley Cup, to get the Super Bowl rings and all of that stuff. And you know, the what they have, the soccer joint right now
Right.
with the World Cup,
Mhm.
right?
Yep.
That's what they're striving for, that mastery to get that chip and to be glorified pertaining to that world. But it's all temporary, right? Read on. And it says, with us is incorruptible, which is the kingdom of heaven. We're going for that type of crown. Read on.
I therefore so run as not uncertainly, so fight I as not beating the air.
Right. So he said, Paul said, I'm running that race. But don't be doubtful, don't be uncertain. Be confident in the belief of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. We're keeping the laws and the commandments of God.
Con.
Camp, praying, fasting, alms, looking out for each other, communication with each other, supporting each other, loving your brothers and sisters, looking at the positive, right? Trying to come to some conflict resolutions, right? Having children, all of that stuff, which is a blessing from the Lord. All that's happening for us as a nation. We're coming back as a people, preferring one another, support each other. God?
And also Salakia Cap was, you just mentioned fasting. They told the Knicks players not to have sex with their wives for
10 weeks.
yeah, for that 10 weeks. So they had to fast from having sex.
Yeah.
And we need to, as a nation. I remember, I don't know if it was couple years ago, 2-3 years ago, we had
Yeah,
the
nationwide fast.
nationwide fast, and brother Daniela from HOI Chicago, he suggested that when all of this madness and folly started coming out and everything, and that's something we need to do. And we need to do a congregational fast in HOI, and that's something you
Yeah,
you the
well,
you the captain, so I put it there. But I was with Daniela, man. We need to do a fast, and because when we do a fast and when we praise the Most High during that fast, we get to the scriptures, we pray, we read, we do what the Most High tells us to do, and we don't go around looking gloomy, like and down and out, but we embrace the fast and do it as Yahweh Shai taught us to. Then we're gonna see some things move, man. When we see things speed up, let's do a fast and do it all together, and hopefully, Most High willing, them crowns is gonna come, and more prophecy is gonna be fulfilled.
Con, I'm down with it. I was speaking to brothers about that. We definitely going to try to get something going. And like the brother was saying, man, it's very important because we do it every year. So it's something that you know, that's a positive thing. So like the saying goes, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. You know what I'm saying? And we definitely need it in these times, you know. And once again, I'm gonna say I'm just a brother with a Bible, okay?
God,
You know, but yeah, beautiful point, Ak. We'll definitely get on with that as well. So we can get something moving with that.
God,
Yeah, so like Brother Yawasab was saying, you know, beautiful reading, edification as well, too, King. And like we said throughout the scriptures, like Paul even said it, run that race. You
God,
know, they chasing that corruptible, temporary crown. We're chasing the immortal, incorruptible crown, which is the kingdom of heaven. So our names can be written in the book of life. We can get our jersey retired for eternity with our names in the pillars of heaven.
God,
You know what I'm saying? And the rewards that come with it. Once again, New York is going crazy right now because the Knicks won because of the drought they have for 53 years. So the hunger is different. The meaning for this championship is different. It means more to them, right?
hmm?
Imagine us who's been here in America for 400 years
Right.
suffering. The drought that we had, we haven't been in the kingdom and all of that stuff. We haven't been back in our land yet. If they going crazy for a 53-year drought, imagine us, Ak.
God,
400 years and we get out of this wicked captivity. Jeremiah 16.
God,
You know? Where the Lord said, no more you're going to speak about Egypt, but you're going to speak about our people coming out of the land of the north, which is basically today America.
God,
You know what I'm saying? And we're going to celebrate like our people did in the time of Egypt and be rejoiceful and all of that stuff when we got out of it. The Lord saved us out of it. But now instead of us coming out with boats and slave ships and all of that, we're going to come out with chariots and be redeemed and saved by the Lord.
all
And
praise.
we endure for the kingdom, we really going to be celebrating and getting it down.
God,
You know?
Our Dwadi, our shy, all praise.
God, don't praise Yahweh about Shem Shah. So hopefully, brothers and sisters, were edified by the lesson, and Dwada again for sticking around, you know, and use all things that we go through as a learning lesson. Let's keep pushing forward, family. And this how you know this the last days. The Knicks won the chip, bro.
Mighty lesson, Cap. All praise to the Most High. Mighty,
So if the Knicks can do it, goddamn it, then we can surely endure for the return of the Messiah through the spirit of
right.
Yahweh Shem Shah and you know, endure and be worthy for the crown, man. And let's celebrate, man.
God,
So let's love each other, have compassion for each other, you know, keep each other in prayers. Nationwide fast, like on Macabre was saying, you know, like y'all was saying, like Daniela, brothers as well. Yeah, it's definitely needed, King. You know, that great motu is going to be crazy. Yeah, people from all walks of life. That's all Israelites scattered all throughout the four corners of the earth, and you had no idea. You know, and our people that's been here for 400 years, bro. I'm gonna keep saying it. If the Knicks is celebrating 50-year drought, imagine us how much we gonna be celebrating when the Lord get us out of this crazy place. Con?
God,
So let's endure, man. Let's make our forefathers and foremothers proud, and let's keep pushing. Those that have lost their life in this truth for Yahweh Shai, the dead in Yahweh Shai shall rise first. They gonna get their reward in righteousness. Those that have lost loved ones and parents and all of that stuff, understand, you're the key. You endure, you keep pushing, you get to that kingdom, you make it. You might give the Lord a request. He might have mercy upon your family because of the works you did for him. And you'll be able to redeem your name, your nation, your family, your reputation, and all of that. So to hell with the naysayers, block all of that. Stay focused. Let's keep our eyes on the prize, Israel. It's not how we start, it's how we finish. Better is the end than the beginning. Stay humble, stay consistent, stay diligent, and have love and compassion towards your people. And let's keep going, family. Kwame Shalom.
Kwame Shrala.
God.
Most High, mighty lesson, Cap.
God. All praise Yahweh Shemel Shah. You know, teamwork makes the dream work, King. And throughout again for the reading and the assistance, man. Definitely much needed. And
All praise to the Most High, how about you, Shah?
good. So let's close out with the Lord's Prayer. Give you at least 30 seconds. Let's close out. All praise Yahweh Hashem Yahushai B'Hashem Chakadash Shemai Yashabala Yahweh Allah Hainawa Yahweh Ahad Abanawa Sheba Shemayim Kodash Haya Shem Yahweh Malakov God Taba'ar Batzaka Haya Isha Baratza Kawah Haya Bashemayim Natananawa Lacham Hayuam Wasalachnawa Chabawafnawa Kasalachnawa Chabawafinawa Wala'at Tabiainawa Banasayawana Bal Hawashainawa Mayan Rai Kayalaka Hamalakwaf Wa Allah Wa Tabaraf La Walamyam Amen. We come to you, Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, to please watch over the nation of Israel, to guide and protect us, to give us the spirit to endure the trials and tribulations and the tests that you have put upon us in this last captivity, Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. We come there as well to give us the spirit to be humble, give us the spirit to stay diligent, give us the spirit to overcome our trials and tribulations, and also to hell with the naysayers and those that try to come against us, try to cast us down, try to curse us out, try to bring destruction against us, Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. We come to you to bring us to remembrance, to gather together as a nation, to have more love and compassion amongst each other as a people, to be an example, Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, and also to bring judgment upon the heathens and upon those that try to destroy us in these times in our lower estate. So also increase in us the spirit of confidence and have love and compassion for each other, and give us the spirit to endure for the return of Messiah, and to also be worthy for the kingdom so that we can rejoice in that time, and also for our people as well. Amen. God. So once again, Israel, pray you brothers and sisters was edified. And like Elder Zabak always say, don't get simple. You know what I'm saying? There's edification in all things, so we just using this as an example. And like it says, be able to control your spirit, to guide your spirit in the ways of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. Use these examples and stay motivated, family. Don't stop. Stay motivated. You're going through hardship, trials, tribulations, sickness, pain, mental, physical, weary, tired, stress, all of that stuff, man. Stay motivated, because we almost out of here. Just one more game, as they would say, and we got it. And we're playing in the game of life, and we just got to keep pushing. We're in the last days. This is it. So what better way than in these times to go all out and make your forefathers and your foremothers proud, and, your family, and also to break that curse, So the Lord have chosen you, John 15:16, to go forth and to bring forth fruit. He has chosen us. So family, just giving y'all some words of encouragement. Lord, keep y'all safe, and let's endure, man. Once again, if the Knicks can win a chip and celebrate and go crazy, imagine us in the kingdom, man. It's going to be 100 times more worth it and even better. So let's endure, let's keep pushing, and Kwame Yashala. Raw for your God, Yahweh.
Kwame Yashala.
Kwame Yashala. God.
Yeah. Shout out to my higher now, Yahweh. Shout out to Dark Side for this beat. All praises to my higher now, Yahweh, the house of Israel. Put your hands on your heart for your God. We gonna roll with Yahweh. What? He's out higher now. Yeah. We gonna roll with Yahweh, and his name is full of power. Come on. We gonna roll with Yahweh. Yeah. He's out higher now. What? We gonna roll with Yahweh, and his name is full of power. We gonna roll with Yahweh. He's out higher now. We gonna roll with Yahweh, and his name is full of power. We gonna roll with Yahweh. Come on. He's out higher now. Come on. he's out higher now. There's no greater than the God Yahweh. Every day he show us his power, and these storms, man, they devour. He has bodies, man, every hour. Life is sour, but he brings power, and his son, yes, we do honor. He's our father, a mighty father, and you defilers, why even bother? All you wicked ass men that started these problems, but he's the problem solver. Man, these scriptures hit like a revolver, shrapnel in the face like a bomber. Daughters of Zion, let's go warn her that the Lord God is about to abhor her. Wait, hold up, this is the reason why I'm living, and the reason why I'm even in existence is to please Yahweh and to show Yahweh that we have truly repented. Ain't no reason for a brother to come up to camp at the front like he got still, but if a real little brother by the will of the Yahweh, your camp, he might just fail. Wait, hold up, we gonna roll with Yahweh. He's out higher now. We gonna roll with Yahweh, and his name is full of power. We gonna roll with Yahweh. He's out higher now. We gonna roll with Yahweh, and his name is full of power. Come on, we gonna roll with Yahweh. He's out higher now. We gonna roll with Yahweh, and his name is full of power. Hallelujah. We gonna roll with Yahweh. He's out higher now. We gonna roll with Yahweh, and his name is full of power. Who the hell said Yahweh ain't real? Don't make a cop back or the steel. Make you clap like you was a seal, or a pig to the slaughter you squeal. Like the devils in the Bible it revealed. White women walk past it like ill. To the devils in the crowd and send chills. Hop back in your post and just peel. White people walk up and they cry, trying to say that the Bible ain't right, but the Bible said the devil gonna fry, and the Bible said the devil is a lie. You should the devil touch the apple of his eye. Coronavirus that you modify. Better scripture that I scream for the Lord. Israel call upon y'all like a sword. Hold up, this is the reason why I'm living, and the reason why I'm even in existence is to please Yahweh and to show Yahweh that we have truly repented. There's no reason for our brother just to come up the camp at the front like he got still. Cause if it's real, little brother by the will of Yahweh, your gap might just build. Wait, hold up, we gonna roll with Yahweh. He's out higher now. We gonna roll with Yahweh, and his name is full of power. Come on, we gonna roll with Yahweh. He's out higher now. We gonna roll with Yahweh, and his name is full of power. We gonna roll with Yahweh. He's out higher now. We gonna roll with Yahweh, and his name is full of power. We gonna roll with Yahweh. He's out higher now. We gonna roll with Yahweh, and his name is full of power. Every day he show us his power, and these storms, man, they devour. He has bodies, man, every hour. Life is sour, but he brings power, and his son, yes, we do honor. He's our father, a mighty father, and you defilers, why even bother? All you wicked ass men that started these powers, but he's the problem solver. Man, these scriptures hit like a bomber, trapped in the face like a bomber. Daughters of Zion, let's go warn her that the Lord God is about to abhor her. Hold up, this is the reason why I'm living, and the reason why I'm even in existence is to please Yahweh and to show Yahweh that we have truly repented. Ain't no reason for a brother to come up the camp at the front like he got still, but if a real little brother by the will of Yahweh, your camp, he might just fail. Wait, hold up, we gonna